Yo, we are live. What's up for those who end up watching the stream afterwards? Thank you to you as well. Hopefully, people start joining in. We'll see how many people start hopping in real quick. I'm glad I actually got myself streaming at a much earlier time than the last time, which was like 9 o'clock. I think 7:30 Eastern time is not so bad. Maybe when I get a little more comfortable with my schedule, I'll probably start getting on a little earlier, maybe 7 Eastern time, and then maybe 6 o'clock Eastern time if I can get it, or 6:30. We can get it going. What is up? There's a lot going on every single week. Let's see how many people hop in or who hops in. Maybe we can get somebody to call in. Maybe it'll actually work this time. Would be nice. Would be nice. What's going on, guys? Who's hopping in here? Let me share this. Just share the stream, if anything, to the guys. Let's see. What's going on, guys? Hopefully, we have a great stream today. I'm really, really curious to see what you guys are looking into as of late. Because something was brought to my attention. I made a video about prismatic, specifically the prismatic ETBs. Yeah. Well, we'll see. We'll see what really, really happens here. Because I didn't expect it to happen that quickly, but I expected some people to start hopping on it at some point. And Nept, what's going on, brother? Welcome to the stream. Da Vinci, what's going on, bro? Welcome, welcome, welcome. As always, we have a lot to talk about. But there's one thing that's really standing out, and it's really prismatic. I don't know if any of you have been aware, but of course, I made that video about the prismatic ETBs, and they're moving. They're moving, but I'm waiting for more people to get in here so that we can look at these things here and see what's exactly happening. Because, like I said in that video, at some point, the market's going to realize that there aren't going to be any more ETBs available or being produced. So let's see how that works out exactly. Great stream last week. Thank you, bro. Thank you. I mean, it's not a stream without you guys, you know? I'd be over here just talking to nothing, talking to my screen. Cardboard Wealth, what's going on, brother? Welcome back. Welcome back. I'm trying to get on a good routine, right? I streamed on Saturday because I was short a video. I was supposed to put out a video on Friday and I didn't. So I said, you know what? Saturday I'll put out a video and go live. And the one thing that I did want to keep consistent is at least streaming on Wednesdays, unless the overall, I guess, community or my subscribers decide to let me know that they'd prefer a Saturday stream. If Saturday's better, I'll do Saturdays. Jay, what's going on, bro? Welcome. Welcome, welcome. I'm glad you're here, brother. Yeah, if everybody else lets me know that they'd prefer Saturday night, then I'd be down to do Saturday night. Uh, if this is good, if you guys like the Wednesday stream, maybe you guys don't have much going on Wednesdays, and you do enjoy having a Wednesday stream pop up at an earlier time, like this time, or maybe even half an hour earlier, maybe an hour earlier if I can get it, then I'll stick to it. I'm liking it so far. DJ, what's going on, bro? What's going on? I am trying to get this thing going the way that you had it with the link where people can talk and I mean join in and talk. I tried it last time and someone said they clicked on the link and it brought them to StreamYard, but it didn't bring them to the stream. I don't know what was going on with that. And he assumed there was like a connection issue. I would like to get that working. I'm going to try it again this stream. If not, I'm going to have to somehow try to troubleshoot it. It's supposed to be something that's really easy to use and just simple to, I would assume, simple to use, right? I don't know what I did wrong. I do have the guest link. I don't know if I have to set something up differently on StreamYard or not. I'm looking to grab premium figure collections over ETBs. I think both will do great, but the figure collection is so fire. Okay. All right. You know what? Some people have joined in. Um, let's get into it then. Since you brought this up, let's just do it. So, looking at the ETBs, they were sitting at, I made that video the other day, they were sitting at about $145 market, which they still are. Um, I think that the chart here and everything else, it's not exactly recording everything as of yet because it just happened. But the ETB is at $145, basically 144.57. And it's been moving up, right? If you look at the recent sales, and this was brought to my attention today because I made this video. As of today, a sale at $148. Another one at 133, right? A cheaper one. Look at this. 12 today at $155. 12 bought today at $155. It's going to start moving, guys. Now, and then you look at the lowest listed. Lowest listed, 144. Very next one, 148. Next one, 148. 150, basically 150, 150, same thing, 150, 150. The next few are 150. That's the next step up. So we're going to go from 145 to 150. Prismatic is basically going to be there. We're just a few sales away from the lowest listed being at 150, which doesn't surprise me whatsoever, honestly. So that's moving. Now the premium figure collection, honestly, it's going to do well. I think it's going to do well. I think it's a great thing to buy. If you look at past figure collections, they've all done well. There's like no complaints with anybody that has held those. They're great long-term holds. Um, but this, in my opinion, is going to be the premium product. This and the SPC, which we still haven't gotten much of, right? We're still waiting on SPCs to hit Sam's Club, Costco, all that good stuff. Nothing's happened just yet, right? Um, but eventually they will. I already saw like a few posts where this thing is supposed to come out for like $70, the SBC on Costco or Sam's Club. And when that happens, it's going to be an amazing time to buy. Like that's going to be a clear signal to buy. But the SPCs as of right now they still haven't we've only gotten really one wave. Like the official release was that one wave. Outside of that, we haven't gotten much hit the market. The ETB though has been out for a whole week. I mean, so what am I saying? Wow, for a whole year, they printed it to the ground for a whole year, and we're really at the point where it's going to be Ascended Heroes next. I promise you guys. Like they kind of give you the blueprint every single year. They're releasing sets that look identical to the ones that were there previous to them. Right? We had Obsidian Flames, a really small set. Charizard set. Then we had Phantasmal Flames, a really small set. Charizard set. Before those two, we had Darkness Ablaze, small set. Charizard set. I mean, it's kind of like very, very similar. The only thing that does change is that they changed from Sword and Shield to now is the amount of specialty sets, and even that's pretty similar. But we're getting a lot of these sets that are very, very similar in size. Even like, for example, we had Prismatic, then we had Journey Together, a little lackluster set. Same thing is happening again. We got Ascended Heroes, and then we're getting Perfect Order, another small lackluster set. Same thing. Now, I expect the next set after that to be a banger. Greninja set, even though it seems like it's going to be a smaller set because we saw the number on the bottom right of the card, and it looks like there aren't so many cards within the set. They might have some really, really good SIRs in there, right? And that Greninja card already looks really good. That Greninja card alone looks better than everything in Perfect Order. I think it's a really nice card. The figure collection I think it's gonna do well, like I was saying before. It's still gonna do well. Look at the SPCs though. They dropped down to like 220, 230, or something like that at some point. Right here, see 238, and now they just all of a sudden took off. It's like people are jumping into whatever they can that they know is gonna be a great long-term item right now. That's the SPC. Now the figure collection, I wonder if it's gonna be here with the booster boxes. Here it is. No, that's the case. That's the case. Where's one? Here we go. It's already at $161. I did not see it get that expensive that quickly. Um, I think I could find it on Facebook for cheaper. I'm hoping we get more of these in the market. I was not able to buy a single one of these. Like wherever they dropped, whether it be Target, Walmart, they just got instantly botted and just didn't allow me to buy anything. But look at what it's done in the month. Last month, 19%, not bad. Oh well, that was because of this right here. This pushed it up, this buyout, 50 items compared to the 10 or 9 items in every other day. Most recently sold 170. This is basically 170. Yeah, crazy, crazy. So it's still a good item. Once again, it's got the figure collection, right? It's got the figure in the figure collection. It's got the 2 promos, which are really cool. And of course, they put Umbreon in there, really cool. Espeon is also really nice. I think this is a really great item. I'm not, I think it's a great item. Yeah, sheesh, 170 is right. I didn't think that they would jump up this high this quickly. Like they're more expensive than this really tells you this is like indicative of what the market is right now. And it is incredibly hyped. Some things get a little too inflated. Like honestly, this price is not a justifiable price in my opinion. The ETB is a much better product long term, but it's cheaper than this. In my opinion, it is a sealed item, the sealed display item. You could display it. It's a collector item. It's an investable item. Um, Even though, like I said, this is still a great item, but I don't think this item should be more expensive than the ETB, in my opinion. That ETB is going to be done. We're probably going to get a few more waves of this. We still have some time. Remember, keep in mind that, after the 151 ETBs stopped getting printed, we still got a ton of product come to the market, like Blooming Waters, booster bundles, all that stuff. The 3-pack poster collections, those kept going out all of last year. We kept getting them. That was something that kept going. Dollar General kept getting them. Family Dollar kept getting them. We kept getting them on Walmart drops. We kept getting Blooming Waters on Walmart, Best Buy, Target. So expect these. At least I am expecting these right here. I am expecting these. I'm expecting more of the SPCs. I'm going to continue to expect a ton of booster bundles, which if you can get them at MSRP, if we get a Walmart drop and we get booster bundles, buy them. Easy pickup right away. Just buy them, set them, and forget them. That's it. These 3-pack collections right here. Once again, I did mention this before, right? These specialty sets being Paladin Fates, 151, Prismatic, and now Ascended Heroes. These are all sets that people are going to want to rip, in my opinion, more than all the other sets. These are sets that are a lot of fun ripping, whether it be great pull rates like Paladin Fates, with on top of that having that immaculate Bubble Mew, the Charizard, the Gardevoir, great pack to open. What else? The 151 also has pretty decent pull rates, but it's also 151 is just nostalgic, right? People are going to want to open it. It's going to trigger their emotions forever. Prismatic Evolutions, the possible God Pack where you could possibly pull a $4,000 God Pack. Like who knows where we're going to be at that time. Yeah, it looks like my face was being covered by the comments, which is fine. So I moved it over. And then Ascended Heroes. Once again, it's an insane set. It's going to continue to get ripped. People are going to want to rip it. The packs in there are beautiful, right? Yeah, I love those figure collections. They're phenomenal. They are. They'll be at Sam's at some point if we're lucky, and they should be. They should be at Sam's, Walmart, and Target. They're going to be there. Best Buy. I'm telling you. The same as we got. We got guys. A lot of Blooming Waters hit the market. A lot. There's no reason why we shouldn't expect these, especially now when demand is so high. This is a business for Pokemon. They are going to want to keep making money. They're going to want to keep just pumping out these cash cows, which are Prismatic Ascended Heroes. And if they could keep going with 151, if it wasn't rotating out, they probably would keep going. That thing sells like hotcakes. Like it's not one bit of a problem, you know? Maybe they had huge delays due to rubber protectors on the pins. Maybe no more printing. I hope. You hope. Well, I don't know. Maybe you hope because you have a lot. Maybe, but I doubt it, guys. Like to assume that, guys, we spent a year with insane demand, right? There's no way if you had a business, just think about put yourself in their shoes. If you had a business and your business was like every product you put out just sold out instantly, why would you stop putting out product? I think it's possible that they have like this false scarcity where they keep some product back, but I think they really tried with Prismatic, for example. Booster boxes have been, I guess, at a low in some ways. We haven't really had booster boxes hit the market like that. But outside of that, I mean, I don't see why they would have an issue putting out product, or why they would, like, how would they benefit from that? I don't see that at all. I have 4, not that much. Well, there you go. So you need more, right? The only problem is that they take up a good amount of space, but for sure you need more. I have 0 of them, but yeah, those are delayed because of those issues. I don't care if they reprint or not. They have too much other products to focus on, to be honest. That's true. They do have a lot. They do have a lot of products to focus on. But the figure collection is one that a lot of people want. Actually, to be honest, for these specialty sets, it's all about the packs. Like I said, I truly believe people are gonna want to rip these like an insane amount. These are gonna get ripped so much. Where's the other box? The Tyranitar one. Does it not come up here? I think the Tyranitar box does not come up. I think you actually have to look it up, right? I think. Is it Tyranitar Lucario? Right? Let's see if it just comes up like this. Here it is. This box right here has more packs than the figure collection. I think this is equivalent. This is basically equivalent to your Blue Moon Waters. Blue Moon Waters had 12 packs. This one has 14 packs. The promos are basically worthless. You might maybe you might want to have the Tyranitar one. Maybe I don't know. Maybe people like the Lucario one. But the real thing is here that we have 14 packs of Prismatic. 14 packs of Prismatic, once again, it's going to be a set that's going to be getting ripped. Now this one's even cheaper than the figure collection. But once again, this was also getting bought up a decent amount. Nothing like the other one. But if you look at the sell through rate, 134 sold this month. We only have 110 listed. This is why I'm saying like these got released not so long ago. To assume that they're not going to come to the market, they're not going to print more, I think it's a bad assumption. But do they have a lot of other product that they can actually focus on? Oh hell yeah, for sure, for sure. But I'm starting to think that they're doing it on purpose, man. I really am. Smokemon, what's up, man? Thank you for the $2 super chat, bro. Thank you so much, Smokemon. I'm assuming you guys know who Smokemon is. He always puts out videos on deals you can find different websites. He's a beast. This guy has like 20. I remember. I think I first found his channel when he was close to like 10,000 or something like that. This guy's over 20K now, over 20,000 subscribers. He's killing it. In the last year, he went from like 10K to like 20 something, which is wild. Been killing it. Jay Ketchum. God, I catch you alive. Yo, bro, thank you for being here. I appreciate you just being here, man. Thank you so much. Katie Lowen. It's wild how the Sam's 151 Tims from last drop have $20 plus worth of promos in them. Keep buying those 4-pack tins at a good deal, people. Right. You're talking about the prismatic promos. I think I saw the Umbreon Cosmo one. It looks really nice, actually. I do love the Cosmo pattern. I think that the Umbreon one might have been at like $10. I'm not gonna find it here. I'm just looking for the tins real quick. And I hate how these pictures like they're not here. Like, how do you not have a picture? It's so weird, but whatever. Where are they? Are they here? I'm just trying to see if they're here. They're not here. I was hoping to find them. That's what sucks. That's another thing, right? Like they have these items here that are for sure on the site, but they don't put them in with prismatic. Why is that Tyranitar Lucario thing and not with prismatic? Right. Let's see if I can find it. Sam's Club. Is it Sam's? Right? Sam's 151. Oh, you're talking about the 151. But the Sam's talking about these right here. The Gengar one should do really, really well. More than anything right here. This is just probably the best one. $130, $140 with shipping. So what do we have? 120. Are they all like that? 100. It's put. Wow, it's heading up to $150. At some point, I remember these being like best value because they had 8 packs and they didn't match up to the pack per price. But now it's really getting up there. In the last since December. This must have been a time that I was looking at it and the pack per price was pretty good. But now from 90 all the way to 100 and what 40 something dollars? Yeah, 150, 160. Wow. Yeah. It's getting expensive fast. 151 is insane. I don't know, man. I think it's appreciating too quickly, honestly. That's just me. Being honest. I think it's appreciating too quickly. I think, of course, there are a lot of people who benefit from 151 appreciating that quickly. And so I it's pretty wild, man. It's these packs are already close to $20 if they're not already there. If they're not already $20, they're really close. I think last I saw they were 18. Yeah, 1861. 151 and all these got bought out. Look, 469 bought, which just pushes this up. Like this is what happens when there's like a decent buy out here, like a day like this, days like these. You see these big price jumps because you start going down further in the list and the sellings and the sales listings, and you start having lower product. But this is what I'm saying. We have 5,717 packs. I think that's a decent amount. I think it's just appreciating too quickly right now. I think a lot of things are appreciating too quickly. Um, and I do see some odd purchases at time. I call them out and I talk to you guys about them, and it is what it is. But it happens, and I have seen several items, products that people are buying and just like pushing up that market price. Like you could tell, it's $45 away to catch up to CZ Shiny Zamazenta figure boxes. Yeah, I think a lot of things, like I said before, I think a lot of things here are appreciating way too quickly. Everything is getting expensive like way too fast. I think the Pokemon market overall needs to chill. And I don't mean you buying, I don't mean the demand needs to slow down. I mean the way that people are approaching it, like just having things so expensive so quickly. I think things could be a little more affordable. It would just make more sense, in my opinion. You if you look at this as an investor and you want to invest this into something, all that room for growth that you would have had if the demand was a little more calm, maybe, or maybe people weren't so greedy having these things sell so high, or even if you would have people manipulating the prices. That's basically what I'm saying. People are manipulating prices. They are buying things at a much higher value than what they should be just to raise the market price. And it is what it is. There's a lot of people that are going to gain from market price increasing with a lot of these items. The 151, yeah, I recognize that after you said it. Yeah, the Gengar's over 17 alone. I wonder what it is in a PSA 10. Right? Let's see if I can find that, right? It was a Gengar 151 promo. Sam's. Let's just put it like that. Right? See on eBay. That's that one. These are people circling the swirls. Like, I was hoping that it was just gonna bring up a few of them here. It's a 094 at a 165. Let's see if we can find that in a PSA 10. That would be really interesting. It's already there. PSA 10. Is this just a reverse? This is just a reverse hollow. Just a reverse at 192. Let's try Cosmos. I did see Cosmos. No, that's Japanese. It looks like they're not even like easy to find here. They're not even popping up. The reverse hollows were there. Look at the reverse hollows. Just and I know I've got some of these. Like I for sure have some of these hollows, reverse hollows, like for sure. Like, oh my God. Like I have a ton of bulk, I was saying before. Got a ton of bulk, and for sure I have these Gengars from 151. Easily. Easily. I can't wait. I'm not even focusing on that stuff right now with all the grading issues that we're having and all this stuff with PSA buying BGS and PSA increasing prices and increasing turnaround times, and then Tag being a little questionable with their slabs. I'm hoping that they fix that because I do like that crystal clear look in their slabs. And CGC, like I like the pristine 10s, but if I don't get a pristine 10, I'm not gonna like the way that like regular CGC 10 looks like. I don't like it. Yeah, you love 151. What you think was up with the Sam's Club prismatic bundles being like half opened? I don't. I wonder. Honestly, I think that it might have been a packaging thing. You remove you skip a step if you have booster bundles where you don't have to like glue them like they do. They glue them, right, and then they have to rip that little tab. Now they have that little flip on the tab where it just like hooks inside. Now all they have to do is put the packs in and close it. They're done. They don't have to put the packs in, glue it, or have the glue on there. Maybe that's even less, less cost. Glue it, just close it. No more wrapping with the plastic. Just put it straight with the prismatic bundle. I think that could be really it. I think it's just a money thing. Um, but it was a nice thing to have when it came to like it being just a sealed item with the prismatic booster bundles. Now that they're not going to be sealed, I don't think that these are going to be as valuable. I think now you can no longer, at least with this bundle, with the Sam's Club bundle, you can no longer take off the surprise box from the booster bundle. Like you can no longer separate them. Now you're going to have to keep them sealed in that plastic wrapping so that it can be considered sealed, and at least people won't think that you're tampering with it. Because people are sketchy about it, and I get it because of all things that have been happening. I think that that's where it's got to be now. Yes, agree. Would be awesome to be able to just go on Pokemon Center when you want and buy what you want. I mean, if they had more, but those items are also much more scarce. They're exclusive. They're limited. So if you were to be able to just maybe Pokemon could have a section of their site where everything was limited, like certain things with the Pokemon stamped, and then they could have all the other things that aren't limited. Maybe that would work, and they would keep the value up for all these other things because the value really determines a lot, right? If you didn't have exclusivity with a lot of these items, I promise you, the demand would drop. It wouldn't help Pokemon in the long run at all. Like when it comes to sales, if demand wasn't high, right? If you find a way to dwindle demand and then just bring it down, I think they'd lose out a lot of money. And I don't think they want that. Like I said, as a business, a lot of people keep saying, Pokemon wants things to be cheaper. They want them to be more affordable. They want people to be able to get all these packs. I don't think Pokemon cares too much. Honestly, I think Pokemon is a business, and I think Pokemon cares about making money. They went ahead and made that commercial, and it had nothing to do with the TCG. It had everything to do with Pokemon Go. And Pokemon Go also makes them a lot of money, and people still play Pokemon Go. Believe it or not, like I was playing Pokemon Go like a year and a half ago, and I just joined a random like group in the game or something like that, and I ended up seeing these people like in real life, like in my area, like walking. So people are like walking around in groups of like 20 to 30 people still playing Pokemon Go. So, and they're making clearly you buy things on Pokemon Go as well. So they're making money. They're finding different ways to make money. They actually don't have to promote the TCG because the TCG is crazy. They can't even keep up with the demand. It's kind of smart to go to the next other like thing they have product, which would be their Pokemon Go, their game, and promote that and continue that, right? And get more money from there. And it's a game where they don't have to produce anything. They just keep people just keep buying it. It's a digital product. Like there's nothing there. Yeah, I wonder if those Cosmos have made it through a PSA yet. I wonder as well. They look nice. I love the Cosmos Hollow. And if you look at the other Cosmo ones that I thought you were talking about, which were the prismatic ones, like the Umbreon one, I don't know why. Umbreon with like sparkly stuff just looks really nice. The Cosmo Umbreon one looks really nice. And it's like $9 for that alone. I can honestly see Destin Rabbit booster boxes going to 2K this year. We are in an irrational market. Yeah, it is irrational. I think trying to buy into Destin Rivals right now isn't the smartest thing. I mean, I know that it's very, very possible we get a reprint at the end of the year. Let's say if the box hits 1K by then, it's not going to correct that much anyways. So you're going to lose out if you don't buy. But I think it's just safer. It's smarter to minimize risk by not buying into something that's so hyped right now that's supposed to get a reprint that's so early on. But this market is so crazy right now that it doesn't matter. And you have so many people out there telling you to buy. Nobody's saying be patient. Everybody's just saying buy this, buy that, buy everything. You have Destin Rivals that's worth that's costing or being valued at more than like 90% of Sword and Shield. The only things you have more expensive than Destin Rivals right now is Lost Origin, Fusion, and Evolving Skies. Every single other item in there is more affordable than Destin Rivals. I think it's a little crazy. I think people at times make some bad decisions, but it could be a great one. I just think that it's too early for it to be that expensive. That's it. I have my box behind me. I would like more, but I think right now I'd rather wait. Like right now, I told you guys in that other video, I'm gonna go after prismatic ETBs. I got some bundles from Sam's Club, which was great. I don't like the booster bundle doesn't have the plastic wrapping, so I might like instantly sell them, honestly. And I don't ever sell, and I haven't sold a thing. Let's put it that way. I haven't sold one Pokemon product, but I am not happy with the booster bundle not being in plastic. Because I didn't want to keep them together, but now if I separate them, it's no longer going to have that plastic wrapping. So I'd rather sell them, which are already being sold at $100, believe it or not. And it makes sense because the surprise box is like 46 market, the booster bundle is like 65. So I saw it on eBay on a bid for like $104 earlier, and it still wasn't over. But I'd rather sell the bundle, that pack, the surprise box with the booster bundle, and take that money and just put it into an ETB. I'm just going to target ETBs for this second, like just this week alone. Like that's going to be my target. Crazy to think that at one point, Pokemon Center was packed with anything you wanted. Now there isn't a single booster pack to buy, and it's been this way for a year, over a year now. Actually, it's been over a year. Yep, 2024 was a rookie difficulty. Yep, it's crazy how things change so quickly. Things change so quickly, just like things change with sets, like sentiment, like Phantasmal Flames, which I love that Phantasmal Flames has done what it did. Is it too expensive too early? Of course, it should not be a $300 box. But I love the fact that people hated on the set, and the market said, "You guys don't know what you're talking about," and it's at $300. That Charizard is amazing, and I love that people were talking so bad about it, and now the market's just telling you you're wrong. But I do think it's of course too expensive. It shouldn't be there, but it's wild. Yeah, only plushies available. Plushies and other little trinkets. It's a shot at resellers is what it is. Yeah. Booster sleeves are nice. Yeah, the sleeve packs are nice. Poke Oz made a video on the sleeves, right? He was kind of trying to talk about like what were the most investable sleeves if you could buy them. And of course, he brought up Destin Rivals. And then he spoke about all these other ones that are incredibly expensive. But for the most part, you can see that a lot of these sets, like they have these sleeve packs, but certain ones, like Destin Rivals, I mentioned many times, it is a great set. Everybody talks well about Destin Rivals because we believe in it. It's nostalgic. And once again, it's a Team Rocket set. It has Mewtwo. It has a lot of good other cards. Um, I think sleeve packs are going to do well for that too. I think anything Destin Rivals is going to do well. But you see that right there, even with me saying it, because I feel that way, I express that with you guys, and so does every other content creator. And then that, for some reason, triggers FOMO like instantly. It shouldn't be that quick. You shouldn't be that emotional or that like emotionally triggered, that sensitive. That the point that at the moment somebody says something like that, it's like I'm just gonna go buy all this stuff right away. Like I really wish it wasn't like that. Like you should take the time to think, okay, this set is great, but should it be this expensive this quickly? No, I'm not gonna buy that right now. I'm gonna focus on something else that may be just as valuable, at least what the market has, but it's way out of print. Maybe it's been out for a lot longer and it's a much more safer play, right? But yeah, I wish things were a little different, at least with the mindset with the overall market. 2026 is ultimate difficulty. You're right. It's changing. It's crazy. Hood, what's going on, brother? Those Pokemon gyms in real life are dope concept. Fight leaders, then the gym leader, and then get badge and shop trade cards. I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know where you jumped in with this conversation, but let me know exactly. Point that out to me what you're talking about because I don't know what you're talking about at the moment. You just said New York got one. Please let me know what you're talking about. Like in detail. Tell me the store name, whatever it is. I'm gonna look it up. Just bought a dope cosmic Rowlet, Kamiya artwork, EU exclusive. I didn't know EU had exclusives like that. That's interesting. They don't want you to separate the bundle and be able to resell both products like they were individually sold. Yeah, but in reality, I think they're trying to save money. I don't think they really care. I think it's take this, wrap them both together one time. Because think about it, they were already previously they were already doing bundles like these, and they were wrapping every item individually and then wrapping them again. But now with that tab, that booster bundle is just gonna hook on, and now you wrap them both one time. You're saving on plastic on the booster bundle, and you're saving on time. It's a lot, you know. It's like, you know, I was a construction worker, and I'm still a blue collar worker. I'm still a plumber, but I'm no longer in construction. The number one cost, for example, for every company that I worked for, it was said continuously, was man hours, the labor, right? So just thinking about that, having like a business perspective in mind, they're trying to save money at all times while make more money. Every single business, that's their thing, right? So I think that's what it is. If they didn't want us to resell, I mean, I guess that could be a thing as well. But I think it's a little deeper than that. But it could be both. You know, you could be right. Those prismatic consoles you're talking about, were those in Sam's Club or Costco mini tins? I think, I think they might have been. Let's look at this. It was what was it? Umbreon, Cosmos, Hollow. Oops! How did I press 41 with my pinky? What did I just do? Whatever. All right, here it is. No, no. Is it these? It's these. I think. Yes, these. These are. Does it say from where? I love how these guys don't always put their description and say where they're from. They don't say where they're from. But I mean, we can figure it out. But this is what I was talking about. Looks really nice. I love the Cosmos Hollow. I really do. And I'm pretty sure that'll do well. They are promos as well. Let's see if they pop up somewhere else. A lot of people like to put the names of the things, like where they got them from or where they came from. And they're not putting them. Let's see. I'm looking up like this then. But it was from tins. What am I writing? I'm like not awake right now. What am I doing? There were tins. Come on. I'm gonna have to figure it out later. I don't know what it is. Gonna have to like Google it or something, but it's this one. It's this one. I don't know what it is in the PSA 10. What does it say though? We could look up the number 059. Right? This is it. This is it. So let's see if it comes up as a 10. Somebody graded. They got a CGC 9, a 10, 200, $237 on bids. I've been looking at these for some time though. No, this is Matt. Sorry, this is Master Ball Reverse. Why does this come up like this? It's the same number, but it's not a Cosmo. So it has the same card number. I'm gonna have to look it up at another point and see if somebody's got it. But it looks like this was the one. This was one of them. Costco. It is Costco. Costco exclusive tins. It was the big one. It had like 8 tins in there. It had like a 10 per logo, per promo, sorry. And it sucks that it's so hard to find. Right? No. And these aren't them either. GameStop. Obsidian Flames. No. Whatever. I'll find that at another point. But those were the ones. They look really good. I'm pretty sure they're going to sell for a decent amount because it's Umbreon and people just like to buy promos. Nah, you ripped that shit like a fucking boss. Well, I really, really, really want more prismatic ETBs, and that will at least fund my ETBs. I really wanted to keep them. I wanted to keep them sealed, and I wanted to just build up what I have for prismatic. I don't have too much, at least in my opinion, for what I have. And it's easy for you to say, and that has, this guy I don't know if you guys follow him or not. He's on Instagram. He just started a YouTube channel, but on Instagram, this guy shares a lot of stuff. This guy has a ton of crap. And I mean, it's not actual crap, it's Pokemon product. He has a ton, a ton, a ton, a ton. Never sold. Dang, congrats, man. I mean, I haven't sold anything yet. Not as of yet. At some point, we are. Everyone here is going to sell at some point. If you're investing, the point is to one day sell, right? So that's just it. But as of right now, for over a year now, no selling anything. It was over a year ago that I started. Actually, I would say 2024 December, where I started actually buying sealed and not ripping everything. Like, I have two booster boxes that I bought in December that I kept sealed when I made that decision, that I bought with the intention to rip. And that was a Paradox Rift one, and they still look around. Just because I was chasing the double Bulbasaur and Squirtle. And then for Paradox Rift, I really wanted the Groudon and some of the other cards in there. But I had the boxes, and then I made the decision to start keeping sealed and start actually investing into Pokemon. And I haven't sold anything in over a year. Um, and so, yeah, I really am a believer into all this long term investing in Pokemon, and I'm going to hold long term. But aside from that, if I buy a product that I am not happy with when I get it, then I am gonna have to move it because I just don't like the way it is. I don't at all. Honestly, I don't mind breaking down the Sam's 2 packs down just to lose packs, 10 packs, random promo for $40. It's still awesome. Yeah, actually, yeah, you're right. You're right. You are right. What I actually really, really wanted to do was to take those Tyranitar boxes. Um, I wanted to buy a few of them, which I didn't because I thought they were going to come up on like Walmart or whatever. I wanted to buy a few of them and break them down and put them into acrylics, like 36 pack booster boxes, and just set them aside that way and save room, you know. And of course, at the same time, there's an advantage that I have over other people, which is me being a content creator. People get to see who I am. They start to develop some kind of trust with me because I'm not going to ruin, like, it would be dumb, right? Like, if I hold product for 3 to 5 years and I started my YouTube content creation with my investment journey, I will ruin everything I've done on YouTube just by scamming somebody with the resealed packs. You know what I mean? So I think it'll be a little easier for me to move single packs, which just because some people have that thing, there's a stigma saying that, some packs are resealed or could be resealed and people are afraid for that reason. But I don't believe that that's such a big deal. Um, but I will have at least the trust of some people and I'll be able to move single packs that way. I think it really helps when people get to know you and they just develop this relationship with you. Like for example, Inept, he's which this guy right here, Inept, he's in my Discord. We chat just about every day. Um, there's another guy, Reverend Rips. We talk every day on Instagram. You just develop these relationships. It happens, and we start to trust each other. We talk all the time. And as a content creator, it really, really helps when you have a reputation. Just like you being a seller on TCG Player or a seller on eBay, you develop that reputation with time and energy, and it pays off in the long term. Yes, sir. Bought every Phantasmal bundle. I cut around $30. Wow. When Phantasmal dropped on Walmart, I couldn't get anything. Got bought out instantly. Uh, Bro, you called Phantasma was 100% wrong. Yeah. A lot of people didn't think that Phantasma was going to be any good. They didn't. I loved it from the start. I loved the Piplup. I even liked the Dugong. Dugong, I had him in my original game. In my Fire Red, Dugong was actually like, I don't know why. He's so underrated. It destroyed everything with the Aurora Beam. Like, everything, everything. It was insane. Nice Rowlet pickup, yeah. What do you think of Surging Sparks? I think Surging Sparks is the second best main set in Scarlet and Violet. People maybe bring up Paldea Evolved being in there. Paldea Evolved is a deeper set. But like, right, if we look at Paldea Evolved, we're not even going to go to Surging right now. Um, just put it near mint, high to low. Okay. So look at that Paldea Evolved. And you think about like what's in the set, value wise, maybe nostalgia wise, and just things like that. Yes, that sets deeper. There's many more illustrations here, right? I think we even go into the second page with many more. Yeah, a ton of illustrations in Paldea Evolved, and that's not the argument here. But nostalgia wise, yeah, Magikarp, Raichu, maybe Tyranitar. That's it. Maybe Marrow, right? All these other Pokemon, or most of them are Gen 9, right? Pokemon that we've never seen on a show, right? Or maybe even a game. Chien-Pao, he looks cool here, like the card is cool, but never seen him on a show. The Heracross, we did see him on the show a ton. Tinkatuff just started on this show on Netflix, right? Baxcalibur also not in the show. Like some of them in the games, but no nostalgia here, right? Like this Miascarada just is a new Pokemon. Iono's, as a trainer, nobody really cares for trainers. Same thing with this Pokemon, new Pokemon. Um, yeah, all of these, the starters, all new Pokemon, no nostalgia here whatsoever, aside from those first few cards, right? And then those cards aren't even that valuable, right? And then this Magikarp is not even that valuable because it's Magikarp. It's because it has to be a combination. It's because of Magikarp. It is Magikarp. Then it's because of the artist, Shinji. Then it's because of the low gem rate. Like you needed all three of those things for this card to be $277. You know what I mean? Like that's just how I feel about it. Then the Raichu, even though it's a nice card, it's not that amazing. It's a cute card, right? $60. Tyranitar, $60. This card right here got pumped by Mimikyu, even though some people like it. They do like it, yeah, of course. But this card was like $15, $19, and then Mimic Brew kept talking about it, and it kept going higher and higher. He kept pumping it. Now going back to Surging now, like comparing, as a matter of fact, just thinking about those top three cards, none of which are SIRs. The Magikarp, the Raichu, and the Tyranitar, all IRs, um, that are leading the pack, right? Then we have Surging Sparks. Clearly, top chase in the card in the set. $255 just because it is what it is. It didn't need a artist. It didn't need a low gem rate. Nothing. It's $255 right now. Even with all the negative talk, people call it the butt whatever Pikachu. They just cry and complain. It's a really nice card in hand. This Latias is immaculate in hand, already better than the second chase, and it's an actual SIR. Same thing from the Milotic, an actual SIR at $94, still better than the third chase. These three cards alone, I would choose over the top three cards in Pal de Default. My opinion, right? It is my opinion. The Executor is decent. The Latios is also really nice. The Cerulege is really nice. But you have nostalgia. Like, just here alone, people are going to keep remembering Latios from the movie. Of course, Pikachu. The Latios as well. Cerulege is a new Pokemon, also really cool, but still new. Nothing crazy there. But this set with the Skarmory, Mesprit, Fanfi, let's see how much further we can go, right? With nostalgia, right? Things that we could just remember. The Spheal as well is an older Pokemon. Execute. Let's see. We have a few older Pokemon here. Once again, this set's not as deep, right? So you can't even go that far in to look for more and more. But it's still, to me, it appeals more. And we realize that nostalgia is like king in Pokemon. That's why 151 is almost $20 a pack, and it hasn't even rotated out yet. Right. So that's what I think about Surging. I think this is the second best set. It's a Pikachu set, once again, second best set. The Pokemon Center ETBs I called out a few times. I have 4 Pokemon Center ETBs. I wish I had more. They look really nice. Like the plain ones they're okay with the display wise, but these, like, it's too bad, like, because the way that the box looks in hand is much better than even what this image is here. So it's a really displayable item. It's really nice. Sam's, appreciate you. Pokemon TCG 2025 SV 151 minutes in 4-pack. Yeah, that's a 151 one. Yeah, I got one of them left sealed. Damn, I'm falling behind. Let's see. Pokemon TCG. Yeah, that's the one we're talking about. Brought to grade them. Costco. Yeah, I got 3. About to grade them. Yeah. Listen, it's the fact that it's a promo. Any Umbreon promo, like the Umbreon promo in the figure collection, doesn't look that great, but it's also different, and it's Umbreon. Like nobody's gonna care just because it's Umbreon. It's gonna sell. I'm finally watching YouTube channels about selling cards to churn and take profits to invest more. I mean, to have the hobby fund your hobby, you know what I mean? Like, there's nothing better than that. Yeah, good call, Katie. CCG Market, welcome, bro. Inept, I feel you're going to be one of the most successful Pokemon investors. Inept, you have no idea. It's too bad that he can't show you anything here right now, but he's got a ton of stuff. Like, I think that if he were to try to show you his stuff, he probably wouldn't know exactly where everything is unless he has incredible organizational skills. I don't know, but he's got a ton of crap. What up, Jay? Just got off work. What's up, Roxy? What's up, bro? Welcome to the stream. I'm glad you made it, brother. The 15110 4-pack from Sam's has Gengar, Dragonite, Umbreon, etc. The 5-pack has starters. I actually forgot all about these and have none yet. They're still cheap. The promos are still kind of cheap. Of course, everything is skyrocketing right now because everything in Pokemon is just skyrocketing, regardless of what it is, right? But they're still pretty cheap, and there should be a decent amount on on eBay if you really wanted to find them. I mean, I'm trying to get through the live and just not spend so much time searching around for stuff. But when I have free time, I'm gonna look for more of them, and I'm pretty sure I'm gonna find a decent amount. Oh, actually, that's Sam's 14th, right? Yeah, that's the other one. That's the 1511. There's a hidden Gyarados, and yeah, there is a hidden Gyarados. I do know that. I know that. I do know. But what I'm saying is that it took a lot to make that Magikarp be what it is. If it didn't have the low gem rate, if it didn't have that artist, like that would have changed it all dramatically. That's all I'm trying to say. I'm not saying that it's an ugly card. I'm not saying that it's not, but I just feel like it took a lot for it to get there. And then when it comes to the other Paldea evolved chases, which second is Raichu, is just $60. Third is Tyranitar, is just 60. And Mouse Hold is one that I witnessed Mimic Brew pumping in his videos. So and he's got a lot of subscribers, and the people that watch him actually buy. If you had 1,500 euro, what would you invest in, please? I plan to hold for 5+ years. I'm gonna give you my opinion, right? We all know I'm not a financial investor. I'm one of you guys, basically. We all talk about it all the time. I just happen to look at the market a ton. 1,500 euros. Honestly, I'm gonna revert back to the video I made earlier this week. I think if I had 1,500 euros, I would probably stack Prismatic. Maybe if I could get a deal on Destin, because I'm not buying this for $600. I'm not buying this for 600. Um, if this was a month ago and this was 400, maybe one Destined, and then maybe the rest into Prismatic. But at the moment, it's 600. I'd rather, I don't know, man. That's a hard call because if we had a reprint tomorrow and you bought this today, you'd lose, right? You'd lose on some money. But once again, it is the top main set. If you felt that confident to just buy a few boxes of Destined, then that'd be your thing. But for me, I think that it's still a little overpriced for how young it is. I think I would stick to Prismatic. It rotates in a year. I think that'd be a great place to put some money. That and maybe some 151 booster bundles, but I think they're also I think they're a little overpriced, even though it is 151. It is a great set. I think Prismatic is where I'd go. I think if I had a choice to just pick one set, even, I think it'd be Prismatic, honestly. Oh my god, bro, you're too dope. Oh, for sure. How they evolved. I agree with you. Deeper doesn't mean better. Look at Chilling Pain. Well, not only Chilling Pain, right? Or look at all these sets that people talk negatively about. Temporal Forces. I honestly I do like Temporal Forces. But the point is that it is a really deep set. Like it is a really deep set, believe it or not. For people that don't even go to this page or scroll past, I am upset that this Gengar isn't just a Gengar. Like if this just was a Gengar, Morty's Gengar, whatever they want to call it, and not be a trainer card, this card would be insanely expensive. I'm upset that it's a trainer card. But aside from that, there's a lot of great illustrations here. The cards look really, really nice, right? But scrolling down, like there's a lot of illustrations. I think this set has the second or third most illustrations in all of Scarlet and Violet. So most people probably don't even visit the second page, and there's a ton of illustrations in here, right? So even though it's a pretty deep set, people don't exactly value it that much, but it is $270. Even though people talk very negatively about it, it's still $270 for a booster box. And then the other one is Paradox Rift. Paradox Rift is pretty deep as well. If you go to the second page, you keep scrolling, and you end up finding yourself looking at a ton of illustrations, just like temporal forces. Both of them have a ton. And now we start getting to the full arts. But still, one more illustration here, another one right here. Look, even more, actually. Still more. It's a pretty deep set, but it's still one of the least valued sets in Scarlet and Violet. It's one of the cheapest. So for sure, deepest doesn't mean best. I'm buying Temporal. Um, I like it. I bought two off the Pokemon Center while they were on the site. So I just have two boxes. Um, I've been really indecisive as of late, to be honest. If you do genuinely want to buy Temporal Forces, um, go to eBay. There are booster boxes that keep selling for like $230 to $240, as opposed to what you're going to buy here on TCG Player for 200 to 70. So I'd go there if you really want to buy Temporal Forces. For 1,500, you could also get a sealed case of something like ETBs too for a really long, yeah, for a really long hold. You could get that. I wasn't specific with the product, but you could for sure get a case of prismatic ETBs. You could probably get. Let's see what these. Where's the case? Right here. Actually, it's pretty close. This is US dollars, so euros. You'll clearly clear this. You could buy a case and put it away. They are getting more and more expensive by the day, though. Look, lowest listed 1806. You'd be better off going on to eBay and seeing what you could find there, because people make some insane decisions on TCG Player. Market was 1,500 or something like or so, because it's clearly gone up, and we have 1,800, 1,900, 1,750. But once again, you were talking euros. I don't know what that translates to in dollars. You'd probably still be able to buy that case. But there also are different things here. Let's see. What is the wow? The case for this is 2,100. Wow, that's nuts. That is wild. Like, that's an insane premium. One ETB is 361 and the case is 2,001. Yeah, I'm going to leave this. That kind of thing. That's like brain rot right there. Like, puts a poison in my brain just reading that thing. There's a case of booster bundles, isn't there, with 25 booster bundles? Where is it? Is it not here? That you could buy a box of 25 booster bundles for Prismatic. I don't know where it is. I don't know where it is. Oh, here it is. Booster bundle case, 1,800. You may be able to afford that with the 1,500 euros. Like I said, once again, it might translate differently when it comes into dollars. So that'd be a decent pickup as well. The booster bundles are going to be, in my opinion, of course, the easier thing to move long term. Like, everything's going to be so expensive, just like we're seeing with 151. If you compare how many people are buying booster bundles to the ETBs, clearly the booster bundles are the clear winners. They're just more affordable. They're easier to rip, and I think that'll be easier to just move. That's just me. That's how I think. That's how I see it, at least. I started with sealed cases of booster boxes and PC ETBs. Well, yeah, you were doing it early. Luckily for you, I have 3 cases of prismatic. No, I don't want to talk about it. Are these the regular ones or the Pokemon Center ones? I love temporal. I do too, man. I really do. I think that some people, once again, YouTube is an echo chamber. It's so funny. You have all these investing channels, right? And they talk about Pokemon sets as if you're gonna lose on one of these products. I, guys, there's not one product here, and I'm pretty sure most of you already know this. There's not one product here that's a loser. This thing right here, guys. How many of you saw Trigger Trades and said, "Hell no, I don't want that"? You know how many times I saw a Trigger Trade on a shelf? Do you know what these Gengar singles sell for at a PSA 10? These right here, these graded in a 10 are selling, guys. Just think about that. Like, there's value everywhere. It's crazy. There's value everywhere. $30 for this thing. They're mini packs, so that's why they seem like less. But look at that. These things were like worthless not long ago. Well, a year ago, a year and a half ago. Like, everything, guys. Like, there's people that talk to you like, you know, they tell you hear all the time. You hear people all the time just because we're talking. You hear people all the time, buy Prismatic, 151, Destined Rivals. Maybe they'll tell you Pal Day Evolved. Now they're going to tell you Ascended Heroes. They'll tell you something about Evolving Skies. But the reality is that you're not always gonna have the same exact opportunity for every single set. Why would you really, if you had an opportunity to buy any set from here at MSRP, why would you not buy it? You see what all of these sets are doing? Even Journey Together, right? Is probably the most affordable booster box right now. MSRP 160. The box is what right now? And the enhanced box is at $242. 242. It had a recent high, or the all-time high of like 260, I think it was. 262 to 64. I would assume at some point it's gonna surpass that all-time high when people start seeing some kind of value in the box. Why would you turn it down at MSRP? That to me makes no sense. I would not turn down an opportunity like that because they don't come so often. Taking advantage of an opportunity and not letting it go is a mistake. I mean, is what you want to do. Letting it go of an opportunity that you're probably not going to see again is a huge mistake, in my opinion. And that's just a thing. Everybody keeps, you know, YouTube is weird that way. It's like this weird echo chamber. Everybody wants to talk about the same thing. And then you even have the guys that are commenting in the channels that if you aren't saying exactly what they believe or what they've heard other people say, they'll say, well, Alex from Nostalgianomics, he said that this thing is no good. He said, don't buy that. I wouldn't buy that. I wouldn't buy Going to Journey Together, or I wouldn't. Every single set has appreciated. Every single one from every single era previous to this one. What's going to change? Why would it change in Scarlet and Violet? With on top of that, they all have better arts. Like, what's going on here with that? Like, I don't understand where that is. I'm always going to look for value in places that others aren't looking. I if I tell you that a Surgeon Sparks Pokemon Center ETB is a good buy right now, it's because I genuinely think that, while others are talking about Destined Rivals and Prismatic the whole time, now some people are seeing movement in it, so now they want to talk about it. But what it is. Like, there's value in every single one of these sets. ETB cases are so big, though. I love the Magic collector cases. It's almost the same size as the Pokemon ETB, but it's worth 2 to 5K. That's insane. I don't even look at Magic whatsoever. Jay does, though. That's what he says. Agreed. He does actually dabble in Magic the Gathering, but I know nothing about Magic at all. Pounds, not euros. Sorry about that. But thanks for the advice. No problem, brother. No problem. Uh, I have sealed Trick or Trade. $15. But you know what I'm saying? Like, this is the point. At some point they were worthless. And at some point you may have ripped some Trick or Trade just for fun and probably threw the cards out. Like, that's not out of the ordinary, I'm pretty sure. People throw out cards that they don't like, that they don't care for, bulk sometimes, like they'll or sell it to a store. Um, and I am guilty of actually selling off a ton of bulk. Like, I showed you guys a picture of some bulk that I had. Just imagine that 2 times. Like, I can't even imagine how much bulk I'd have right now if I didn't give that in. And I regret it because I know there's cards in there that are probably gradable, and they're going to age pretty well. We're going to look back 3 years from now and look back for hollows within some of these sets that are probably worth grading. Look at the Gengar hollow in Chilling Rain. It costs like, it's like a, what is it, like a $8, $5, something cheap. It's not expensive at all. It might even be cheaper than that. But it's like a $200 to $300 card at a PSA 10, right? Exactly. The opportunity is why I don't have some things, not because I don't like them or can't afford them. It's just a better opportunity for me to buy something else at that time. That's that's my thing. I bought a Journey Together case. Is why I bring up the example, because it came up to me, right? I couldn't pre-order Prismatic at a LGS. I couldn't pre-order Destined Rivals at MSRP at a LGS, but I was able to order Journey Together at MSRP from one LGS and under MSRP for another. So I wasn't going to deny a case at MSRP. Not happening. No way. That opportunity is never going to come again, unless we go into a straight bear market. Then you'll find opportunities like that again. But who here sees a bear market coming right around the corner? I don't think anybody is assuming that's going to happen. Nostalgianomics and Pokémon were right telling people to buy Temporal and 90 a box, but most of us didn't listen. Yeah, once again, I think it's tough to just, I mean, it's not tough, because once you understand that every single thing is appreciating in value, I think you'll see things a little differently. I think you'll see that you can afford to buy something with much lower risk, and at the same time have it appreciate. We don't all have to have Evolving Skies. I mean, it's just the honest thing, right? We don't all have to have the best stocks in the world. What regardless of what you're investing, if it's stocks, if it's coins, Even if you don't have the very best one, you can still make pretty good choices with low risk that make you a decent amount of money. Does it matter? Like, to me, it doesn't. Yeah, fine. You sold 1 box and you made $300, and I sold 2 and made $300. Fine, it's fine. For me, it's fine. I had an opportunity to buy that, cheaper box at a much better price than you had for that more expensive box, and I took it. And you're okay with your choice, and I'm okay with mine. That's data is a data. I love Alex, though. Yeah, I do like him. Sometimes, he can, seem a little just some things sometimes where you could tell he tells you some things and there's a clear incentive. Like the other day, he brought up the Ascended Heroes booster packs and he was trying to justify them selling at $18 a pack. But he's justifying a sale at $18 a pack because he's selling them for $18 a pack. And there's no way in hell that you're going to convince me that an Ascended Heroes booster pack should be worth $18 when it just released, regardless of the value that's in the pack. How could you try to debate that the value of a Ascended Heroes booster pack should be $18 because of the value of it when the set just came out? Bro, give it a month. The value within that pack is going to diminish tremendously. The Gengar went from $1,300 to like $800 or $700. So for you to try to tell me that an Ascended Heroes booster pack should be $18, that's outrageous. Now, this it's all on you guys. It's all on every single person in the community to understand what's happening when it happens. That's your duty to try to defend yourself and protect yourself from being tricked into doing some things. And I'm not saying I don't know him from a hole in the wall. I don't know him at all. Do I watch his content? Yes. Is he a smart guy? Yes. He's been making a lot of great calls. But when it comes to certain things like that, where he's actually selling the pack, he has clear incentive to convince you to buy it at $18 a pack. It's clear conflict of interest. It's just like PSA telling you we're the best graders out there. No, of course you're going to tell us. Like, why would you tell us that you're not? Why would you try to convince us that you're not the greatest if you don't want us to buy your stuff? So that didn't make sense. He is great. Once again, he has called many things. I watch every single one of his videos before anybody starts saying that I'm hating on Alex. I'm not. I would even love to do a live stream with him and have a actual conversation about things. I think it'd be fun. But I don't think he'd see value in doing a stream with me, especially since my channel is much smaller than his is. But that's normal, anyways. But I watch, like I said, I watch all his videos. But I can call BS when I see it, whether it be from a content creator, whether it be in person. Like, I'm known for that. I'm known for people not being able to get away with certain things, and I usually call it out once I see it. Like in person, I would tell the person like, "Yeah, that's BS. You're not cheating me with that. It's not happening." Trick or trade on clearance in November. Yeah, it was. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. And then now you can actually rip all that if you really wanted to and grade all your Gengars and make your money back and some, like, easily. No brainer, of course. Walmart dropped in 25. Oh, that's true. Walmart dropped in 25 minutes. Very, very true. What are we having there? I forgot. Destin Rivals Booster Bundle and Ascended Heroes 3-pack blisters. Do you have any regrets in your Pokemon journey? I bought Fusion Strike when it came out on the Pokemon Center. I didn't really understand Pokemon then. A week later, I returned it. So, my honest regret is just not taking advantage of some opportunities. I did take advantage of your journey together. But this time last year, I had a ton of capital to move around, like a good amount. At that time, I believe Evolving Skies was 700. I'm actually going to look it up. I'm pretty sure Evolving Skies, and I really hate even thinking about this, to be honest. Um, I'm pretty sure Evolving Skies was $700 a booster box. And I'm going to look at it on price chart because it actually gives you more data, like years behind, as opposed to what TCG does. It doesn't give you that. So Destin Rival, sorry, Evolving Skies this time last year $1,228. I'm pretty sure early around this time, I saw some places having it for like $700 or $800. And I was able to afford at the time, I could afford it, and I also could afford several cases. And I'm gonna be honest, I don't know how often you guys say this, but my fiance was right, and she was telling me to buy Evolving Skies boxes. She was telling me to buy maybe a case, and I didn't listen. I was doing other stuff. I didn't listen, and that's my number one regret right there. It sucks. I don't even like thinking about it, to be honest. I don't. That's my biggest regret was having the money, and I mean like thousands. Like I had a good amount of capital, and I could have bought it in around this time, and I could have bought cases. Like I could have bought several cases, not one, not two, like several, and I didn't. And so now, where would we be right now? Where would I be with the case? Because the sealed cases have a. Have you guys seen the cases? The cases are like 20K. The cases, Evolving Skies cases are like 20K. And this is why I hate even looking at this even more. Like truly. Market is 14. It's listed at 18. Look at this. 18, 19, 20K. This this was it. This was my mistake. Gotta live with it. Gotta live with it. The only Evolving Skies I have is an ETB, and I only got one of each at MSRP because I love the covers. Now they're nearly 400. Everything Evolving Skies is, I think Destined Rivals, because of the hype that we have behind Destined Rivals, the belief, just like people have with Evolving Skies, even though it's not a great set, it's probably gonna somewhat like follow that set. And what I mean by that is just that it's just gonna skyrocket. It doesn't mean that it's gonna be the same price, but these things, when we start breaking these ceilings and products start reaching certain prices, it just opens the opportunity for others to do the same. Right? You see Evolving Skies, like think about this. How many times have you seen a video and somebody says, guys, Destined Rivals is a great buy right now. If you look back when Evolving Skies was this price, nobody wanted to buy it. And now it's over here. So if Evolving Skies is doing this, what do you think Destined Rivals is going to do? You hear that all the time, right? So when that happens, it clearly opens up the opportunity for other products to do the same thing. Will they be as expensive? Probably not. I don't think Destined Rivals is going to be as expensive as Evolving Skies or as valuable, but I think it's still going to do well. I think it's still going to do well. And all of these other items, these booster boxes, are clearly opening that doorway for Destin Rivals to one day be a $5,000 box, a $10,000 box. If you're in this thing for the long haul, like really long haul, maybe it'll be a $30,000 box one day. There's so many boxes out there that are actually incredibly expensive, like 15-year-old boxes. Wild how expensive they are. Will you be here? Probably not. But I'm just saying that when these things happen, it opens up the opportunity for others to do the same. I was never a fan of collecting booster boxes, but now they are the way to go when investing. Yeah, 100%. What Walmart drop are y'all talking about? There's going to be a Destined Rivals booster bundle drop and a set of Heroes 3-pack blisters. As a matter of fact, I did share it. Let me go to Twitter real quick because I do have. I'll just share this link into the chat, and you guys can just click on it from there. I guess go there and you can see what's on Twitter, and you can click the links and see that those are the drops for Walmart today. Buying Dragon Ball Super, I'm double dipping. That's hopefully you succeed, man. I don't know what that's going to do. That was like a horrible investment for a lot of people in the past, and now once again, this market, it's not just the Pokemon market. If you look across the board, it doesn't matter what TCG it is. Every single TCG is booming right now. For me, if it was me, my opinion, once again, I'm not going to tell you what to do. Dragon Ball for me would be a short-term play. I would let it appreciate. Whenever I thought I was getting close to the high, don't time the high. Once again, don't time the high or the bottom. Don't ever do that. You're going to make a mistake one day. Once I'm getting close to the high and the market is going crazy, I'd sell close to the high and just make my money with Dragon Ball. Because of it, if it's history, it's just really, really hard to just depend on it or believe in it, the risk is just that much higher. Thoughts on investing into Megazord UPC? Would you rather put 3,000 into Megazord UPC or Prismatic ETB, considering they're both around the same price? The Prismatic ETB. For me, that's like an easy, clear choice. It's much older. It's a loved specialty set. The Zard UPC, even though it's a nice product, it's not like all Phantasmal Flames, even though people do like the selection in there. You have Mega Evolution, Phantasmal, Destined Rivals, some Surging, and some Journey. And then you have the two promos, the Oricorio and the Charizard, where I wish we had more promos, and I wish we had something similar to the Sword of Shield Charizard UPC, where we had three Zards. Instead, we have an Oricorio, which I don't understand, and one Zard. Um, it's still going to do really well. I have three here in a sealed box from Walmart. It's too bad I didn't buy one more because I would hope that they gave me a sealed case, but they probably wouldn't anyways. But I bought three from Walmart and I have two more on the way from Target. So I'm going to have a total of five. So I think that they're great investments in reality. I do, but there are a lot in the market. Just realize the difference right now where we are. The Zard UPC just came out. It was just came out and it keeps coming out in waves. So for now, it's going to be pretty cheap, while Prismatic is going to start skyrocketing like it is. I don't know if you just got to the stream, but I made a video on Prismatic and why I think people should start buying the ETBs now. And the reason why is because Pokemon is definitely going to move into Ascended Heroes. They're going to stop printing Prismatic ETBs. Yeah, we're going to keep getting collection boxes. Yeah, we're going to keep getting booster bundles. We're going to keep getting all that stuff, just like we did with 151. But they did stop printing the ETBs. Prismatic, at some point, they're going to stop printing the ETBs. Ascended Heroes is in that same, it's their high class set. They're going to start printing Ascended Heroes like crazy. That's what I think is going to happen. And then you won't be seeing Prismatic ETBs hit the shelves anymore. And when the market finally notices that the ETBs are no longer getting printed, I think they're going to go crazy. Like I really do. And this was brought to my attention today by a few of the guys here. I think it was Jay Estrema. Thank you for that. I'm pretty sure it was you. Market price was 144. And actually, look, it just updated. It was 144 like an hour ago. It's 145 now. Two were bought today at 148 already. It's already moving up to 150. 12 were bought at $155. And once again, like I was saying before, if you look at the lowest listed, we're starting to move to that 150 range. It's already there. A few sales. This one has a tear. These are other stuff. That one has a tear. This is the next lowest listed with no damage whatsoever. It's 148.50 basically, and this one is 150. Every other box is 150 and higher after that. So this box is going to start to climb once it really hits their mind that they're not making any more Prismatic ETBs. People are going to want to start buying. They're going to start FOMOing. They're going to want to start buying at this price before the price starts getting jacked up. That's what I see happening. So I think it's a great time to buy Prismatic, especially since it's going to rotate out in a year. That's what I think. It's just Prismatic is just going to do so well, in my opinion. Is what I think is going to happen. But once again, the Zard UPCs are really good as well. They're not going to perform bad. I'm going to focus on personally, I'm going to focus on Prismatic ETBs right now. When I'm happy with what I have, then I'll move on to something else. But I've been so indecisive for some time now, and I'm finally set. Like, this is something I'm realizing right now. This is going to happen. They're going to stop printing these ETBs. I don't want to be in a position where I wish I had more. I don't. I want to be at a decent position. I'm not going to build a house out of Prismatic ETBs, but I want to be at a decent position where I'm happy with them. That's it. And then I can move on to something else, whether it be more Zard UPCs, which I think they're great. Like I said, I'm going to have 5 when the other 2 arrive. I think they're nice pickups, to be honest. I really do. And then after that, I think I would have to make a decision whether to look back, because the greatest thing that you could do is probably not look back. Looking back, you're talking about things that already have inflated prices. The entry points are much higher. I'm thinking to look forward and maybe just focus on Ascended Heroes ETBs if I can get them at MSRP. If they drop on Walmart, I'm going to definitely pick up a ton from there if I can. So we'll see what happens though. But that's where I'm at right now. I think Prismatic is the better choice. Guys, let them know. What do you guys think? Because we're all here together, guys. I'm all for us helping each other out. This is why when I tell you guys to join the Discord, it's not just me there, like The Discord has like 30 something guys now. It's growing little by little, but the guys that are joining there, like, I'm so glad that they're in there. There's a lot of good guys in there. You ask questions, people will answer, including myself. I'm there. I'm active in there. So this is the kind of thing I want. Like, everybody should be helping each other out. There's no reason why we shouldn't. Uh, Returning Fusion Strike is crazy. Well, I mean, at the time, you hear about this a lot too. Fusion Strike was not loved when it first came out. People didn't like the Gengar. People did not like the set overall. A lot of people regret not buying Fusion because they did not like it. They denied it at $90 from like booster boxes. They always ignored it. Always listen to wifey. Yeah, if I did, I'd be really happy right now. If I did, I would have honestly, being that the cases are like 20K, I would have sold 1K, made my money back, had no risk, no skin in the game when it comes to Evolving Skies, and I would have been fine. I don't care. You know, I'm gonna realize my gains, and if I could put myself in a position where I'm just like gains and no risk, I'd do it in like in a heartbeat. You know, I'm not an incredibly greedy person. I'm if anything, I'm more strategic. I try to make the right plays now. I was early on in the investing, and I didn't. It like took more and more time for me to be like, you know what, I'm all in. But yeah, I would have easily done that and moved some of that product, at least one case, and been home free with that, and then everything else would have just been upside, and that would have been amazing. Alex said, "Don't buy Evil Skies at 400." He said to sell it all, of course. I don't even know if that happened, but that'd be pretty crazy. We all have regrets though, for real. 8 minutes. I just realized because I just now that I scrolled down, I just saw the link that I dropped here. 8 minutes till the one more drop. If you do want to try to get some of that Ascended Hero stuff, 3-pack blisters with the Charmander and Ghastly, um, and the Destiny Rivals booster bundle, which is, in my opinion, a great hold as well. I think everything Destiny Rivals is going to do well, and hopefully, you guys can get some Ascended Heroes. Um, Ascended Heroes is going to be clearly be worth holding, but I think, and this is just once again a strategy thing, Ascended Heroes is so new, still so new, that I think you're better off ripping whatever you get, and whatever you pull, either sell or grade and flip instantly. Like, it's never going to be, or not never, but these are going to be somewhat similar to their all-time highs a year from now. Whatever you get now for a PSA 10, like, everything is crazy. So I would just do that. That's just me, unless you like the card. But like I said before, how often don't we get cards that we pull that we don't actually like? If you get an SIR, you don't like it, grade it, move it. That's just how I see it. First print Evolving Skies ETB should be worth more too. I wouldn't sell mine for 400. It's still on my eBay. I paid for 120 for the set. First print has green cards, green code cards, and no QR code on the back. Okay. Pokepin, what's going on, brother? Welcome to the stream, man. I'm glad you made it. Jamil's Ghost. I have 2 Ascended Heroes ETB and a Pokemon Center ETB ordered, and I'll be stacking up on those during the release, and maybe some Pokemon Center if they drop. Yeah, Pokemon Center ETBs for Ascended have been going nuts. Like, and once again, like I said, everything is going up way too quickly. Like, I'm just gonna close this. I'll close my regret, my tears. But we'll look at Ascended. I think this should come up right away. Pokemon Center ETBs. I was gonna start buying. I was gonna start buying some of these. They were at 170. I thought I had a little more time, but things are moving way too quickly, guys. Like 250 already. 400 for, I think, is it 2 or is it just no? I'm not gonna acknowledge that because people are crazy. But 250 is where I'm seeing 235 plus shipping. This is from the UK. Let's go to the US only. I mean, you do come across some decent deals where some sellers clearly don't have a lot of reviews, and they'll sell them off for a more affordable price, but somewhat close to what's being sold. Um, yeah, see 250 everywhere. 250, $20 delivery, like, is insane. 260 is starting to rise. It's continuing to rise. 2 of them for 500, so 250 each. Same thing, like, insane how expensive they're getting, how fast. And you know what's so funny? This was so funny about this. Like, this is like Pokemon Center ETBs are going to be displayable items. This is what most likely is going to happen, right? And what's so funny about this is that no one liked the ETB. And I'm not trying to sound like I called anything special, but I remember saying that I love this ETB because it makes me, it reminds me of my childhood with the retro colors. Like, one of my brothers actually had a jacket, and it was like a Mighty Ducks jacket, and it was like this kind of blue Oh no, sorry, it was a Hornets jacket, and it was this blue with the purple, and I love the jacket, and so it reminds me of it, and I love Dragonite, one of my favorite all-time Pokemon, and, it's just so funny, nobody like, a lot of people didn't like it. A lot of people didn't like it, and look at it now. Insane. Pokebonds, what's going on, bro? Welcome to the stream, man. I'm glad you made it. Thanks, guys, for showing up, like, for real. Thank you. I'm trying to make an effort to be more consistent with the streams. Um, I get home tired from work, and, I got a lot of things going on, but I'm trying to make as much time as possible for this for YouTube because I love doing this, and so I appreciate you guys being here. Long run hold for Ascended here. Yeah, you got to be. I mean, thinking about, like, we don't know what's gonna happen with the print facility. We don't know if they're gonna be able to keep up with demand. We don't know what kind of a dent it's gonna make to the demand, right? We don't know. Um, a lot of people are assuming that, you know, they're gonna print everything to the ground. But a year from now, if we can imagine that a year from now they're gonna have another high class set that lands in January or another specialty set, I would assume they're gonna stop printing Ascended Heroes ETBs unless they continue. We don't know yet, but we'll have to see. I wouldn't believe all the like that's super speculation, like years down the line. Like we don't know what's gonna print. I would stick to certain things. I would stick to good fundamentals, just buy and hold. Don't just don't panic. Buy, hold, put it away, forget about it, ignore it. Don't even like or look at it. Display it like I do. Like I genuinely like looking at my display, and it's not even that crazy. I wouldn't even know. Like I would love plumber's display, but clearly I don't have one. Agreed. Prismatic TVs are drying up and starting to move. They're moving crazy. What if Prismatic sits at 150 forever, like Hidden Fates, and then booms years later? Well, you are supposed to hold. The recommendation is 3 to 5 years, right? They could hold that at 150, but right now with this market, I don't think that's happening, brother. I don't think that's happening, man. I would genuinely be extremely surprised if that happened. I would, what the market was when Hidden Fates was around is nothing compared to what's here now. Like, yeah, look, it's just like this Lodge said. Nah, Prismatic getting ripped way more than Hidden Fates ever was. And of course, Pokepenner agrees. What app do you use to track your collection? I don't use any app, honestly. I don't like the idea of looking on the apps too much. Like I'm now that my collection is growing more and more, like I'm losing track of what I have. Like the other day I was trying to calculate like what I may have or how much of what I may have, and there were things that I was completely forgetting I had. So I think now I may start using something, whether it be the Shiny app or Collector app, or maybe one of them sponsors me, and then I'll use them. But I am against looking at these apps every single day. All that does is make you FOMO. It makes you think about selling all the time. The people who panic, like look at like these weird posts of people who are clearly really immature in this market. They post on Reddit and it'll say like -10%, and they'll be like, "What's happening? What do you, like, bro, relax. You're supposed to hold this stuff, But clearly you're panicking and you're already thinking about selling because you're scared. If you're scared, maybe this is not for you. I'm not clear. Of course, I'm not talking to you, but I'm just saying that person, that individual, whoever you are, if you're scared, maybe this isn't for you. Maybe enjoy the hobby in a different way. There's so many different ways to enjoy this hobby. You know, enjoying it in a different way isn't a bad thing. We're 1 minute away from Walmart. I'm gonna hold off real quick on the comments just so I could be ready to click one of these Ascended Heroes links. Up 9 o'clock. Here we go. Hang on, we're getting you in line. Please don't refresh or leave the screen. I've never been here this early. I must have been like on point. Hold tight for a moment. Oh my goodness. Here we go. It's not, I don't feel like it's looking great right now. Why am I holding tight? Come on. Who's in? If you're in, oh my God, I can't even see the chat because I'm so far behind. All right, fine. You know what? I'm just going to click on the next item, which is the Destined Rivals booster bundle. I'm in line. Keep shopping. I'm in line for that. But the Ascended Heroes one is not like loading at all. I'm afraid to click anything and then lose that spot. What's going to happen? So the Ascended Heroes, I clicked the other link again. I said screw it, and I did it. I'm at least in line for Destined Rivals. So while that goes on, Back to the comments. All right. It's the amount though. There's so much prismatic in closets. Yes and no. I mean, listen, first off, the investing, the population of investors in Pokemon is really low. Like the percentage, if there was a percentage, that percentage would be really low. I'm not going to give you a guess, say 1%, 2%. All I know is that we're the minority by far, by far. Then think about how much prismatic is getting ripped on streams, people just ripping alone. God, bro, this is not even me. It's not even me. My fiance still chasing a God pack, bulk. This is prismatic, by the way. Prismatic. This, see, and that's proof that it's prismatic. One of the full arts from prismatic, right? This is just proof of what people are going to continue to do. My fiance knows I invest, I hold everything, I hold 3-pack blisters, I hold everything, but she wants to rip, and people will continue to rip. Um, and that's going to be the thing down the line for like a good while, I believe, honestly. The cards in there are really nice. To pull something like that feels amazing, of course. I don't see anybody trying to not do that. All right, so I'm in. I'm in, guys. I'm in for Ascended Heroes. Thankfully. So we'll see what happens. I'm in. I only have one prismatic ETB and it has a tear. I'm probably going to grab 10 before they start to hit 200. Yeah, I'm close to 10. I had 10 and my fiance ripped one. I I gave it to her. She didn't just go rip it, but I gave it to her. She ripped one. So I have 9. Exactly 9. It came from a case. I didn't open the case myself. The person that was selling it opened the case themselves. They were trying to sell them on Facebook and they didn't think that they would sell them all at once. And I bought them all. I took the box, but it was open. So I have 9 currently. And I want to have 20. So little by little, I'll start accumulating some. I plan on picking up 2 or 3 on Friday for about, I'm going to try to talk them down to like 120. They are listed on Facebook by me for like 130 or 120. So I may be able to get like 3 for 120. That's what I want. And then little by little, next week I'll pick up a few more and just try to do that. I'll focus on them. Just trying to have a goal. You have a goal. I I don't want to lose sight of other things. So I'm going to set a goal, and I think most people should do that, and most people don't do that. Set a goal, get what you want to get for it, and be happy with it. I always mention this all the time. I'm not a wealthy individual at all. I try to buy things when I can here and there, and I just keep going and I keep churning and I keep doing whatever I can. Um, so I'm not a wealthy individual. I don't act like I am. I don't talk like I am. I'm realistic with everything. We all know what goes on our everyday lives. We all have bills. A lot of people have kids. It's just the way it is. We don't have the same situations with even with our jobs, like our finances. The best move I ever made in Pokemon is when I first got into Celestial Stormy TVs. They were $600. I wanted one. Exactly 3 years after the set was released at Pokemon Center. Put a last wave of. Oh, that's crazy. I love the Ascended Heroes ETB design. I promise you, bro. A lot of people did not, and I don't know why. Boxes dipped to $200, and I bought one, and it's like 1.8 to 2K now. Wow, that's nuts. That's pretty crazy. Yeah, I did see that. They are crazy, like expensive. DC from the V. What's going on, bro? Welcome. Stop by for a minute. How am I doing? I'm good, bro. Honestly, I'm good. I'm happy to be here. I'm happy to just keep on coming to the live and just trying to be consistent. So I'm glad that I'm here and I am keeping my word to you guys because I mentioned it the past few streams. I want to either pick Wednesday or Saturday. I already make videos Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. I've been doing that consistently for some time now. From sometimes some random times I'll make a video on Tuesday, Wednesday, or Thursday. But I think maybe I could leave Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday alone with videos, maybe make a live on Wednesday, and then record videos Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday like I have been, and just keep that going. And if not, if you guys don't prefer Wednesdays, maybe I'll do Saturdays, and I'll just do my video early on a Saturday and stream in the afternoon on a Saturday. But the one thing about Saturdays is that usually people like to go out, so I would kind of like to do my streams on Wednesday nights if you guys are cool with that. If not, then I just will do it on Saturdays. And if I ever can't make it, on a Saturday because I have plans, then I'll just shift it to a day early or a day after, and we can still make it work. Good luck to y'all in the Walmart drop. Yeah, I hope everybody can get something. I really do. Me too, honestly. LOL, but I'm just playing the other side of the coin, asking the question. Nah, you're good, bro. You are good. I typically like to look at things from more than just one side, right? I don't just pick one side of things. I look at both. I wonder why, for example, like when we're talking about Pokemon, I wonder why, they can keep up with demand, why they can't, I mean. And then I also think about why they wouldn't like purposely do it. I think about like every reason possible. Yeah, good luck to the drop. I started using a QR system on my totes to tell me what I have instead of opening it to see what's in them. That is smart. You are the first person I've seen say that. I haven't heard one person. That's cool. That's smart. Paper hands sell from fear 100% of the time. 100%. That's what I'm saying. It's not even a Pokemon. It's just like any stock. Like, it doesn't matter what it is. Even these coins, like how many people didn't you see crying about Bitcoin? Like, it's just, I mean, it did tank like a tremendous amount, but it's just consistent throughout time. Yeah, rip and shipping is balancing out, if not exceeding the hoarding. Yeah, I don't see a lot of the people that bought into Prismatic early at MSRP, like even if you sold them for 100, 120, we saw videos of people having like hundreds of ETBs. If you could double your money in an instant, yeah. I don't think these people who are just in it for the money, specifically those people, are gonna like deny that money right there, like instantly. Like, how often do you get the opportunity to double your money that quickly? So holding tight. I got in late. Damn. What are you talking about? The drop? It all depends on the stock, man. Hopefully they have a decent amount of stock. And on PC, hold tight on the app. I am not using the app whatsoever. I am on the computer. Now you're making me think that I should have gotten on the app. But in reality, I've never had, I don't know, man. I've had success in both, actually, now that I'm thinking about it. I've had success in both. But now that you're saying that, I'm going to do that on my phone, and maybe I can get lucky there as well. We'll see. Or lucky on one. Whatever happens. Let's see. All right, I'm in line on both. We'll see what happens. Guys, don't forget to like the stream, guys. I would appreciate it. It helps push the stream out, and we're here having a good time anyways. And it's a free click. Why not? You get an open case discount. I didn't have it wasn't a premium, at the time when I got the case, I got each ETB for $100. Just because at that time, I mean, Prismatic never really went under $100. Keep in mind. So I got them each for $100. So I spent 1,000 for 10. For investment point of view, would it be better to buy one Prismatic ETB Pokemon Center or 3 normal Prismatic ETBs? Another difficult question. It's difficult because if you think about like 151, the Pokemon Center ETBs are up to $1,000. I actually haven't looked at them recently, so let's look at them right now. Actually, the last time I looked at them, they were like $990 or something like that. Let's look at where they are, and I just compared to 151 because it is a specialty set, right? And so look, it's at 893 right now. One listed at 982. Recent sale was 983. One sold for 1,000 down here. What's lowest listed? 982. It's almost $1,000. It's basically 1,000 from what we got left here, right? And the regular ETB is like 400, 442 now. So if you had 3 151 ETBs, you'd be better off than the one Pokemon Center one. So 191 in the last 3 months. That's one thing I'm going to look at right now as well. How many sold in the last 3 months? Because it's down. See, this is one thing that I point out all the time too. The more expensive a lot of these products get, the smaller the pool of people are that can afford to buy these things at these prices. So in the last 3 months, 148 sold, while the 151 regular ETB is 191 sold in the last 3 months. That's something to keep in mind as well. Liquidity. I think people don't, it's very easy to think about, you know, something being really expensive that you've bought into, like an Evolving Skies booster box, but you got to think about how you're going to move it as well. If you're not a trusted seller on TCG Player or eBay, it'll be that much harder for you to move it, But you also have consignment services, which will move it as well. But now, once again, three ETBs still outdo the one in value. I'm going all in on the Ascended Heroes PC ETBs. Going to get 20 total. Beautiful box promo. Set is SSS plus. Better than Prismatic in my opinion. I think it's better than Prismatic. In a few ways, but the most important way is that I think it's going to cater to a larger amount of the people, right? I think Prismatic, even though it's a really nice set, you have to like just appreciate the evolutions in it. Now, Ascended Heroes is going to cater to the vast majority of the hobby. Gengar, Dragonite. You have even newer Pokemon like Frostlass, Hawlucha. Just so many cool Pokemon in there that a lot of people are gonna like. And there's like a Pokemon in there for every person. Even the illustration rares. You got some Team Rocket Pokemon in there. You got the Doug Trio, the Mimikyu. You got the cool Cynthia's Spiritomb, which is probably the best Spiritomb out there. You have the really nice Mischievous that nobody talks about. Um, you have the Psyduck in there. You have so many good cards in there, from illustration rares to SIRs to the Mega Attack rares. It's just, I don't know. It's a better opening experience. I just think it's going to cater to a larger population. Thoughts on Brilliant Stars booster boxes still being undervalued? You know, honestly, I don't think they're undervalued. I think that they're at a good price. I think that everything else is just super inflated. Brilliant Stars is doing well. Right now, everything in Sword and Shield is moving slower. The thing is that the attention right now is on Scarlet and Violet. Nobody's looking at Sword and Shield. Most people aren't looking at Sword and Shield. If you watch my market analysis videos that I do on Sunday, you don't have to. They're long. I usually go through everything that has price action, things that are either going up or down, right? If things are stagnant, I'm not looking at those items. I looked at like nothing for Sword and Shield on last Sunday, because they're not moving. And it's because eyes on everything else. And on top of that, I keep talking about this all the time. Social media content creators play such a big role in this, and it's so crazy that they do. Um, no one's talking about Sword and Shield. People were talking about Sword and Shield, and they were moving a little bit, and that's why you see all these price jumps here coming into the year, right? But once that happened, it flatlined, right? And we're now at 570. I think it's a decent price for Brilliant Stars, but we're still seeing these gaps of days where there are no sales because no one's talking about Sword and Shield. But I do think, in my opinion, that this is still a good buy. Like Brilliant Stars is a really nice box. It's a really nice set overall. It's a really nice displayable item. It has a lot going for it. I don't think that you lose out with Brilliant Stars. Um, and I think it's at a decent price point. I think we're going to see more growth throughout the year, though. Honestly, like, look at what it's done in the last year. It has these moments of stagnation. We're going to have that. We're probably going to have. We might even have another slight dip, or it might just jump up again. But we're going to have this staircase look here. We're going to have that continuously happen. Especially look, there's only 66 listed on TCG Player. 66 listed. The average is 685. So we're going to start climbing, right? If you look at this, even on the first page, we're already at $600. This box is going to start moving. We just need more sales. It is a really nice set. It's Sword and Shield. It's protected from reprints. I don't think it's at a bad spot. I understand the desire or the want for it to be more expensive, but I think it's at a good spot. I think it's in reach as well for more people. I think people should be buying Brilliant. I think it's a really, really good box, to be honest. Just like Civil Tempest, even though it's not as deep as a set, and I said this before. Actually, Jay Estrema pointed it out. Let me check my Walmart thing real quick in case this thing pops up. A deeper set doesn't always mean better. And I'm not saying that Brilliant Stars is not good, but the Lugia to me is enough. That's, in my opinion, the best art in Sword and Shield. and we can all have different opinions. That's fine. But I think it's doing well where it's at, to be honest. I think Brilliant will start moving though. If that's what you're worried about, whether it's going to move, I think it's going to at some point. Eyes are going to be right back on Sword and Shield. They just keep doing that. Think about that. Even content creators overall. Right now, it's Scarlet and Violet, but just about 30 days ago, what are we? We're February 11th. Yeah, 11th. Just about a month and a week ago, or a month and 2 weeks ago, all eyes were Sword and Shield, like literally Sword and Shield. Now it has all shifted to Scarlet and Violet. Eventually, it'll go right back. Right, we're gonna keep eyes on now the Mega Block because the Mega Block is here as well. Now, people are starting to have more things to look at. They're starting to get distracted as well. So it will move though. I wouldn't doubt that whatsoever. Once I got in 30 minutes late on the phone and hit while I had gotten on my PC immediately, I never got in at all. It's almost like a lottery. Yeah. I don't know. Honestly, they sometimes they have ways to work around the system and they work around the queues. So it sucks, but it's what's been happening for some time now. So I'm trying to have it on my phone, trying to have it on the somebody said the phone. So I'm trying to do both. PC ETB King for specialty sets. Yeah, the liquidity is a thing. If you're cool with the consignment services, that's one thing to keep in mind. Um, but sometimes, like I said, sometimes the low risk play can be a really good one. Because if you think about it, how many PC TVs can you afford to buy? You yourself, like as an entry, how many can you afford to buy? Depending on the PC TV, maybe it's too expensive for you. Prismatic, I think it's still within reach. I think Prismatic is another one, right? Destin Rivals PCTBs and Prismatic, of course, are easy pickups. Phantasmal Flames, I think it's actually undervalued in my opinion, but it has been moving. Just wanted to point this out. I want to take a look because people are making weird purchases and like literally pushing up prices. So this box is now to 220 because you're seeing the lowest listed. But yeah, so the box is moving. And this is what I mean by people trying to move up prices. It just keeps happening. This is 250. There's no reason why somebody should have bought that at 250, but they did. Whatever. The people have incentives. But this box overall, great displayable item. The promo is a bit underrated in my opinion. And once again, I did point out that there was finally a PSA 10 that sold on eBay, the first one. And I think it was like 400 and something dollars, which is a pretty decent value. The Magneton from Surgeon Sparks isn't that valuable, and a lot of the other ones aren't that valuable either, actually. So yeah, Pokemon Center ATBs for specialty sets in particular because they don't have booster boxes. Yeah, of course, for sure, really good. What do we have with Prismatic right now? Are we close to $400 on the PC ATBs? I think right now for the PC ATB, I don't think I actually saw one on Facebook for like 320. I think it was on Facebook by me. Uh 380, 350, 350. So we're in the 350 range. There's a few sales in the 380s, but it looks like mostly 350 to 360. So yeah, it's moving though. We're getting to 370. Wow, it's moving fast. And this is what I mean. Like these listings climb too quickly. Like it's an unregulated market. It's like I wish there was more control. But I don't know. In my opinion, PCTBs are of course the booster boxes for the specialty sets. But they are getting expensive like really quickly. This is what I mean. Everything's flying. Everything. Like there's like nothing I can think of that isn't taking off. Oh, sorry, Shrouded Fable. Aside from Shrouded Fable, like the clear loser, and it's still and actually it isn't even MSRP. It's the clear. This is what I was talking about earlier too. Like, we talk about sets, what to buy into or what not to buy into. And even the clear loser is still not MSRP, right? We're still not at $60. Look what it's done in the last year. From $48 in February to 76 right now. And this is shrouded. For those that are so worried about what to buy, yeah, there are some things that are going to appreciate better than others. But sometimes the opportunity is there for certain products. And I'm not saying go buy shrouded. I'm saying when things come up, maybe it not be Destined Rivals, but it could be something else. It could have been your Phantasmal Flames. When everybody doubted it, you could have bought it. Maybe at MSRP. But even shrouded, the clear loser, right? Uh Pokemon Center ETBs, what have they done the last year? They had this crazy high, like buyout that pushed it up to 190. But this could have had a much more gradual growth, but we're still not where we were in February. $85, we're at 120 now. Even the clear loser is appreciating. And that's why I'm saying like everything is going crazy. So the top tier sets like Prismatic, PCTB is going to keep moving. You could buy it now. It's still going to move. If you're really trying to figure out whether you should buy it now, you can. In my opinion, it's still going to keep going. We're seeing it live. It's happening every week. This isn't happening like sporadically. It's happening every single week. There are some things that I still feel are undervalued, like actually undervalued because of what's in them, like the Journey Together Pokemon Center ETB. That Zorua, I believe it's like $600 in a PSA 10. I can't remember, but I think it is that. Prismatics, only good card are the Evolutions. The Salamence is the only card that's up there in price overall with them because of the Shinji Kanda. Yeah. Do you think it's weird Lost Origin is like the only Sword and Shield box that hasn't gotten back to the all-time highs yet? No, I don't. And if we can see it in the chart, let's see if we spot it in the chart. I'll tell you why it's not all-time highs. Because around a certain time here, where is it? Come on, baby. Where are we? There was at a certain point, it's going to be a spot where it says 850, 849. Where was it? I think it was this right here. Right here. Look. At this point, I hope you guys can see that clearly. It says 785 to 898. There was 22 boxes sold. And remember, we have 88 listed on the site. You see it there. It says current quantity. So boxes were bought from 785 to 898, while at the time, the market price at the time was like 700. What was it before that? The chart is developing and it's showing it up here, but in reality, the market price was like $750. And then this happened, and so the chart is just curving, but it was like 750, and then the lowest listed box was like 900, while the market price was 750. But all these got bought out in that one day, and it shot up the market price. So there was such a big discrepancy between the market price and the all-time highs that the sales started to diminish, and then all the sellers had to undercut each other, bringing the market price back down. But if you look at what the chart is doing, and you're seeing how this is like a staircase, it is starting to head back up. It's just moving really slow because nobody's looking at Sword and Shield. But that's the reason why it even hit that all-time high. It should have never been there, honestly. It should have never been there. It could have had a much more gradual growth. Maybe it would have been somewhere down here in the 700s, and then maybe it would have flatlined and dipped a little, and maybe it would be actually at a higher point right now because it would have had a better, just a better growth. It wouldn't have had that point of like where the sellers had to undercut each other. That created that big dip right there. So it could have been a different situation if that didn't happen, but it did, and there was a huge discrepancy between the lowest listed, which was like 900, and the market price of 750, which was pretty crazy at the time. Server Tempest was also the last of the trainer gallery box to sell out of PC. Yeah, it was, but once again, things are just people doubt all the time, man. They go with what's being said all the time. They don't just think to themselves, hey, how good is this set? What's in the set? Is this Lugia good enough? Look at all the past Lugias in the history of Pokemon. They're like all really expensive. Some of the most expensive cards out there. And this card is like top tier, like when it comes to the art. So I believe in that set. I think it's gonna do really well. Pound Digger, what's going on, bro? I haven't seen you in a minute. Welcome to the stream, brother. I think a lot of people hold Lost Origin booster boxes. Yeah, I don't. They have good reason to, though, right? The Giratina is pretty good. The trainer gallery is amazing. I think I forgot last stream, somebody was trying to say that they thought Brilliant was better than Lost Origin, but I don't think they accounted for the Lost Origin trainer gallery because nobody talks about it. But the Pikachu's in there look amazing. The Gengar's amazing. That trainer gallery is pretty good. Everybody just needs to remember that time is the ultimate best investment. Nobody knows what the next XY evolutions or celebrations is, but we will in 7 to 10 years, 100%. It's all about time. It's all about your risk tolerance. That's like one of the biggest things that no one talks about. Risk tolerance is probably the biggest thing because so many different things can happen to change your risk tolerance, whether it be your situation, whether it be if you're like an emotional individual. Some people are much more sensitive than others. Everybody's different, but if you happen to come to a point where you need the money now, you're gonna have to sell, if you just need it. Hopefully that doesn't happen. But at the same time, there are people who are just emotional. There are people who love to look at the collector app and complain at all times why something has dipped 10%, you know? Um, so there's a lot of things that you got to take into account when it comes to all this stuff. And sometimes people just want to realize gains. Sometimes you bought Destin Rivals for MSRP if you're lucky, if you had that kind of connection. And then it hit $600. And then maybe you sold everything and 3x your money. I mean, who would blame you? In reality, who would blame you? Like, you just realized all these gains. I'm not mad at you. Do I think Destin is going to do better than long term? Yes, I think all of these Pokemon investments are going to do better than long term. But at some point, you're going to try to realize gains. Like, that's what we're here for. We're not here for just to hold them. You know what I mean? And I see all this stuff. Somebody just mentioned 63,000 3-pack blisters and 18,000 bundles on Walmart. And that's from one of the discords that I'm at with Inept. So hopefully some of us get lucky. I've seen more than that fly off of that Walmart website, and I get nothing. So it is what it is for now. But yeah, a lot of things happening. I mean, Sword and Shield, once again, people just don't have eyes on it. It's a really nice displayable box. Once again, like, these are nice boxes. The sets are really nice. Um, I don't think they're undervalued though. To be honest, if I'm being really, really honest, I don't think anything in this market is undervalued. The fact that you can buy something at MSRP and it can 3x from the moment you swiped your card just to purchase it. Yeah, I don't think anything's actually undervalued. I think things are undervalued in comparison to other items. Like, you try to merit a price of something and say, if this is this price, why can't that be that? That's one thing. But I don't think anything's actually undervalued. Um, but I was talking about the Journey Together PCTV. I know people complain about the set. But once again, PCTB, it's a really nice ETB. It's a beautiful color. And the promo in it, right? It was the rule, right? I'm not going crazy. Zorua, PSA 10. Oops. PSA 10. This card right here on bids. It's pretty cheap right now on the bids, but let's look at the list at the sold listings. Right, look, $400. So maybe I was confusing the Charcadet price with this one, but still $400 is still more expensive than a lot of the other um, PSA 10s. 380, 324, 39, 309. This is pretty good value for the promo in the box. And the box is $151. 360, 300, 380. So I don't just look at the charts. I look at everything inside. Like, is this going to be valuable one day? N is one of the most popular trainers out there. Zorua, once again, just like Zoroark, is getting more and more popular every single day. It's a very competitive card. The Zoroark has a very competitive card. It's in the show. Like, there's things that I consider, right? What is the EV at? Look at this. That's pretty close. 400, 410, 466, 450, 485. Some are more expensive, of course, but still, it's not that much more expensive. And we're comparing Eevee to Zorua. And then what else is more expensive? This one was by far more expensive, but let's see the Magneton from Surging, right? And the Surging one is more expensive, but look at the promo: 200, 190, 202, 195, 225, 235. These are the kind of things that people have developed these prices from. The reason why the Obsidian Flames Charmander, right, is the reason why the PCTB is so expensive is not because Obsidian Flames is the best set in the world. It's because his Charmander sells for $3,000. You know what I'm saying? That's why the ETB is $600 or whatever it is right now. So, I try to look a little past just the chart. I try to look a little past what people are saying. What else? There's another one, right? What other ones? I think almost every single one is more expensive. The Wobbuffet. What is the Wob? No, I'm just trying to look at a more basic one, I guess you could say. As a matter of fact, I'm just going to go back to the TCG player, but that's the point on that. But yeah, wild, just so many things happening. And Walmart is still going. Snorlax. We can try that one. That one should be a little expensive. It's 151. 1,000. $1,000. $1,300. 1,250. 1,250. 1,100. Yeah. But that ETB has so much more baked into it. It's not just the promo. I mean, the promo is a huge plus, but it's also just 151. But this is what I'm saying. Look at the Paladin Fates one. How much is the Paladin Fates one? ETB. $400? And we have what? Mimikyu? 270, 250, 290, 270. It's cheaper than the Journey Together Pokemon Center promo out of 10. It's cheaper. And the Paladin Fates, of course, it's a better set, which everything comes into play. But at the same time, it's also what's inside that has been one of the determining factors as to why certain things are certain prices. So, but yeah, I think there's a lot of still opportunity. There's still a lot of room for growth, especially this year. Um, but some things I think are getting a bit out of reach. 151 for me, even a booster bundle at 120. I don't know. I don't want to buy a booster bundle at 120. I'm sorry, I don't. Of course, it's going to keep going up, but I feel like I could buy 2 prismatic booster bundles over the 151 booster bundle, and I'd be happier with that maybe. Um, how they evolved right now, I think I'd have a much easier time justifying buying Paldea Evolved for $416 than Destined Rivals at 600. Yeah, so many different things, and then grading is just going to be like if I get 3-pack blisters from Ascending, I'm ripping. I think I'm going to rip, and I will like grade this thing instantly if it's worth grading, and flip it if I don't like it. If it's not a chase of mine and it's worth moving, then yeah, it's going to move. But yeah, it's all about finding value where other people aren't looking. For a good while, I spoke about Scarlet and Violet having low gem rates and nobody was buying it, and it was like 220 at the time when I made that video. And now this thing took off 270. Yeah, you see, it was like 220. And I was talking about the low gem rates in it. Like people justify Paldea Evolved and Magikarp because of the low gem rates, but nobody was looking at Scarlet and Violet base when that thing has the lowest gem rates than any other set. But yeah, Obsidian Flames is heading back to all-time highs. A lot of wild things happening. Crown Zenith is at an all-time high. Yeah. I mean, yeah, at some point, Sword and Shield is still going to start going crazy again. And Black Bull and White Flare continue to struggle. They're not breaking past $90. And I think there's people who hold a decent amount of Black Bull and White Flare. And I think they tried several times to pump it, but nobody's buying it. But Phantasmal, I think Mega is going to be a decent hold as well long term. Just because of the set, like Gardevoir's always been popular and Lucario's popular. Like there's some good. This card here is beautiful to me. Like I love this card and this card right here. I can't believe it dropped to $51. I didn't even realize it dropped that low. Wow. I love this card right here. So I think this set is still going to be investable. I think there's still room for growth even for this set. I think that the booster box is now like 240, isn't it? Let's double check. Oh, it went up. It did. It was down to 235. Wow. 225 to 260. Wow. I didn't I didn't expect to see that just now. Because at 240, it's a great buy. 220, of course, low 220s, but I saw it at 240 for a little while. 260 now? Wow. Hoping to get more sticker packs because those are the ones I will rip. Yeah. like I said, same thing as Prismatic, same thing as 151. These are the things that I believe are gonna hit the market, like, over and over again. I mean, Pokemon has shown us that that is a thing, right? They just keep doing that. I believe in Twilight. I went pretty heavy into it. I think Twilight's gonna be good. I think people just don't talk about it. It doesn't get hyped up all the time. And it's like another card, that people just hate on, the Greninja. I mean, I was gonna talk about these 2 PCTBs these 2 in comparison to others are also undervalued. Have you guys seen the promos in a PSA 10? We'll look at it in a little bit, but those 2 promos are also really expensive. I mean, they're newer, but they're still expensive. So yeah, Twilight, people still hate on it. People talk. They hate on this Greninja for some reason because he has a crown, even though you can't really see it. It's a beautiful card. It's going to continue to be really expensive. I think it's like $800 out of 10. So the EV is really nice. You have some trainer cards here that you probably didn't wish were here in the top 10 or whatever, but the parent is $100, guys. We're in a market where people don't like trainers and they're still buying trainers at $100. I keep checking my Walmart thing here, but it's not going anywhere. The Chansey's really nice, right? The Eevee. People do like this Tatsuguri. This Sinistra has moved up a little bit. You have some playable cards here that have some value, like the Secret Box. These are horrible, of course, the Ogre but other cards like this. Infernape to me is like a super cool card. The Pinsir as well. I mean, there's value here, I think. And then on top of that, you compare what the box, how much product we have on the market. It's not a lot. It's not still we still got some room before we get down to like 100 boxes. We're at 387, but it's decent. It's not bad what we have there. It's not like too much or too little. It's nothing like Surging has like over 1,000 boxes listed. We have 387. 387. And this set was only this is 2 sets before Surging. Sorry, 3. Looking at just the quantity real quick of how many boxes to just point out what I'm trying to get at here. 1,100. And this is 1,100. This 1,000 number, this 1,100 to 200, 300 has been here consistently throughout this whole time. Throughout this whole year, we've had over 1,000 boxes on here. No matter how many sell, we have almost 1,000 boxes sold. I mean, sorry, 4,000 boxes sold. In this whole time, in the process of all these boxes being sold, we've always had over 1,000 boxes. Always. And that has not been the case for Twilight Masquerade. So scarcity may be a thing for Twilight. I believe in Twilight. I don't have any Twilight, and this is not me being biased. I don't have any, but I do believe that set is going to do well. What's the Snorlax promo going for? Oh, we saw that already. We booming. Yeah, we are. Booster boxes are scarce. That's what everyone wants right now. Some are more scarce than others. We just saw. I've seen Black and White Flare local for about 70. Was something to pick up on them at its collection, but even though it doesn't go up to the moon, it will eventually go up. It will. At $70 especially, clear buy. But I mean, then again, it's your choice, pick up the things that you want. But I think that at $70, it's hard to turn that down. Celebrations, collections, Lance Charizard V boxes. They did come. I did see that. I think who put a video? Oh, a plumber had a video today with the Sylveon one. You know what's funny? I wanted to buy the Sylveon collection box at some point, and I forgot about it. I completely forgot about it. I moved on to something else. And I didn't buy it. I did buy a bunch of that promo though. These came with Evolving Skies, Fusion Strike packs with 4 celebration packs for 20. Was picking them up all day at Walmart. So yeah, sick. Nobody wanted them at the time. There's a whole bunch of things that people don't want all the time. MEO1 is a better set overall, but Phantasmal boxes are going to outperform because of demand for the Charizard. That's what I tried to say. The Charizard is enough. I believe the Charizard is enough, just like I believe the Lugia is enough. I really do. Eevee is the best card in Twilight. Better than the Greninja? That's a little bit of a hot take, I think. My bad. Hold on, guys. I don't know what I just did right now. Did the stream end at all just now? I don't know what I just did. I hope that the stream didn't end. I'm here. I'm here. My bad. My bad. Yo, I clicked. I thought I was on the TCG player site, and I clicked back, and it took me out of StreamYard, and it like didn't end the stream, but it like closed all the windows that I was sharing, whether it be the camera, the screen I'm sharing, it closed all of that. Yo, oh my gosh. Yo, I thought it was over. I was like, what did I just do? I thought it was over. Yeah, I'm not doing that again. I just keep on clicking things. So I'm looking at the Walmart drop and I keep coming back to StreamYard and look at the comments. Yeah, too funny. Too funny. But yeah, I've spoken about all these sets. I made a video. You know what's funny? I feel like I overload some of my videos. I put in like too much information into my videos, or I try to put too much. Maybe I put like too much substance into the videos, while other people will make a video and talk about like 2 or 3 sets. And then I make a video where I talk about like 7 sets. Because people are talking about Destined and Prismatic all the time. And I made a video where I spoke about almost every single set here that people are not talking about, and why they're possible plays and why they could be good long term, or why they could be like a sleeper set. Like I made the case for Stellar Crown. Stellar Crown is a much more scarce set than you realize. And even though nobody wants to look at the Terapagos, I'm not saying that this Terapagos is amazing. It's not. I don't absolutely love it. It's not horrible though. But look at the amount, 148. This may be a much more scarce item than you realize at a fun 148 listed here, right? It is much cheaper, of course. A lot of people don't like it. They don't like Terapagos, and it's cool. But it does have the Bulbasaur and the Squirtle in there, which a lot of people like, right? And of course, I made the case already for Temporal, like Paradox, a lot of IRs. They have the 3 legendary dogs in there, which I think are sick, even though some people don't hate them because they're different forms. But I think um, if you like legendary dogs like I do, like I like other forms of it. Like I thought it was cool that they did that. My hot take threw him off the stream. Yeah, that was man. I thought I cut it off right there. But yeah, so many different things. I mean, people they want to hyper focus on things, but I think there's place everywhere. Is there anything you guys are specifically looking into? Different products, kind of like, for example, the Charizard UPC somebody brought up earlier, which I think is a great pickup. I think what is that even at? While you guys get back to me about that, let me know if there's anything specific that you're picking up. Maybe a booster box that I haven't mentioned, or something that isn't a booster box that you're picking up that you think is worth something in the future. 152 market. I wonder why these things keep selling for 152 when they actually keep popping up. Like I've had like several days in a row where Target is dropping these. Like that's why I have 2 more on the way. So I don't understand why they're not sitting at 140 and going up to 150. Well, oh, that's because they bought 194 of them. That's why. Okay. Korean EV Heroes just because of the Moonbreon. How does Korean stuff do well? I mean, I wouldn't be surprised. It's evolving, right? But that's not what I expected somebody to say just now. That is not what I expected. But I think, like Pokeaz did in that video, sleeve packs could be a decent play, especially if you're picking up Destined Rivals. I know a lot of people don't like to mention sleeve packs or the top tier item, but those sleeve packs will probably do well. If you look at like all the other sleeve packs from older packs, from older sets that been around for a long time, um, I think that at some point they're going to be really valuable. Single question: you think picking up the special delivery Charizard is worth? So, I'm not like I feel like buying singles is a much riskier play than anything else. If you look at like the booster boxes and we're looking at like charts, like any chart that I pick here, like I said, like Twilight Masquerade, right? If you look at the chart, even though people complain about Twilight Masquerade all the time, right? And you zoom out, you see that even though it had one big dip right here, and also This was manipulated to drop down. You see that $43 sale? For some reason, TCG Player actually recorded it like if it was an actual booster box, and it dropped down the price. So they had a few $43 sales, and it dropped down the price tremendously. So that happened with this box. That happened with Padel Evolved. It happened with Brilliant Stars at some point. They all happened at the same time. Uh, but this would have had a different trajectory, and it would be just all up. It wouldn't have this big dip. Um, but then when you look at a single, right? Like even the Greninja. Let's look at I'm even though it's a strong card. Let's see what this does. Look at this in the last year. This is what this has done in the last year. It's just gotten cheaper, right? It might at some point, get the recent high right here and get back up to here, or maybe it'll eclipse it or pass it. But it's so erratic. If you're looking at it like an investment, it's so erratic. It's hard to buy into singles as investments. They're hard. Singles, in my opinion, if you're really trying to be successful with them, it has to be flips. It has to be like instant flips. It has to be like a grade flip. That's what I think. I think there has to be you buying a card, grading it, and flipping it and making a profit. I think that it's really, really risky to just buy into a single, like any single. Victini boxes are a play. I did see that come up on Target, but they sold out instantly, so I couldn't even buy any. What are they at right now? I don't even know what they're titled at, but I'm gonna try to put. Let's see what happens. Oh, here, perfect. It came up. $38. Not bad. That's not bad. Oh, that is not bad. At $38, it has been right around that point for a little while. Look, it's actually dipping a little bit because we keep getting them coming to market. But that is not bad. The fact that it's Victini is the only reason why it's not that expensive. In this market, the right promo, not Victini, of course, will go nuts. Like, oh my god, so many Pokemon could have been right here instead of Victini, and that would have gone crazy. Like even crazier. But the Victini promo, it all depends on what the popularity is for Victini. I've never been a big Victini fan, but it is not a bad Pokemon. I know a lot of people do like Victini. There are some people who claim Victini is their favorite Pokemon, so that may be a good play. Oh, you don't like the Greninja? You don't like the Greninja? But the special delivery Charizard is expensive, is it not? You're talking about the one with the Pikachu, or let's see if it comes up just like this. Oh, there you go. Yeah, look at this thing, 180 bucks. That's slightly played though, right? Let's go near mint. 180. This has been taken off in the last year, but why? See, and this big jump right here is probably the scariest thing to me. It is Charizard and Pikachu. It's just hard, man. Singles do wild stuff, man. Singles, it could have been the most popular Pokemon ever, and they still like sometimes they tank really hard, like really, really hard. Like I don't know, the Umbreon, right? The Umbreon was here, and people, it's a really popular Pokemon. It didn't that like drop to a decent price like after a while. I mean that was when it first came out, clearly. But look, I don't even know if it's going to get back to over here. I don't know. We don't even know if it's going to get back to $1,200. But if you would have bought here, maybe you'd be regretting it right now. It all depends, man. But singles are really, really rough. If I was going to buy a single, like an expensive single too, I'm buying it in person, or or it has to have the most beautiful pictures on eBay where I can see everything. Or buying it in person to make sure, like I'm going to guarantee myself that I can grade this card and get the highest possibility to get a 10. I guess Walmart. I think I would have got a notification already that things are actually selling on Walmart, so nothing's happening. Special delivery Charizard was a free promo. So was the felt hat Pikachu, wasn't it? Didn't it come with like you purchasing something on the Pokemon Center? It's so crazy how all these free cards are things that just go crazy like that. The red card is sick. What, the Victini? Is it the one you're talking about? The one with Pikachu, right? That's the one. I have one saved. for 130 on eBay. That's near mint. Yeah, but what do you just want to hold it? Is that what you're trying to do? You're just trying to hold the card and just let it appreciate? Because that's what I'm worried about. That's what I'm really worried about with any single. Like, uh, let's see this then. Let's see what the Bubble Mew looks like. And I don't remember what it has done, but let's just take a look. I know I had this crazy high, but now it's tanking. Like, and I don't know why. Like, there's no even a real reason as to why this card is tanking. And you remember how I told you guys that people do weird stuff to manipulate prices? Oh, this is graded. Sorry. Oh, I was about to say I just caught one. This is a graded card at 840. But you don't know what's going to happen with this card. I don't understand why it's tanking. Um, and I'm glad that the TCG player picked up on the PSA 10 and didn't register it here. It's not coming up on the chart with that big $840 sale. But these cards, man, they'll tank like so. Like, look at that. This is one of the most iconic cards in the era. $700 down to 461. You just don't know what's. I don't know. That's the reason. That's for me. That's my thing. But if you grade it now, what's that card out of 10? That's got to be pretty crazy. Let's just look it up for fun. While we're here, right? We have time. If there's anything you guys want to look into or discuss, we're here hanging out, guys. Like, we can talk about whatever. 760. You see, if you were doing something like this, you were grading. Now we're talking. Now we are talking. And this is all I would do with singles. This is all I would do. I would not try to invest in a single and hold it, like, at all. Like, not even a little bit. Yeah, that was the one. Yep, and it was free. Crazy. As a fan of Rayquaza, I was looking at getting the VMAX Dragons Premium Collection box just to display for personal. What is that? Let's look that up. VMAX. I've never seen this thing before. Whatever you're talking about right now, I've never seen. Let's look it up. What'd you say? Premium. Oh, it's here. Oh, that's where that promo came from. $200. I mean, it looks cool. This one looks a little brighter, so I'm gonna click on this one. It does look cool to display. Fusion Strike, Fusion. I wonder what's back here. But still, I mean, regardless of what that is, it does look like a cool box, though. I love the scales out here on the outside. That does look cool. I'm not gonna lie, that does look cool. It is a nice box. But yeah, all these cards are doing wild things. Singles are just so hard to predict and not lose money on. It's tanking and pack prices are spiking. Yep. It's because it keeps getting ripped. They just keep getting more and more scarce. That means more and more bubble mews are hitting the market, so they're getting cheaper. Singers are really volatile, too risky for me as well. Yeah, that's the problem. The volatility there, like, it's way too risky. Like, as booster boxes and all these sealed products become less and less and they become more scarce, the singles are coming more. They're just more abundant every day. Another one is a Dark Powers EX box. I'm looking to grab. I think I've seen this one. I think I have seen this one. Yeah, this was a recent one. I do like the box just because it's Gengar. It's cool. And then on the other side, it's got the Absol. It's cool. Yeah, it's got the Absol. Here's the two sides. It's cool. And this promo from Temporal Forces. Wait, does this promo? Is it even a promo? No. I was thinking maybe it had a different hollow pattern, but it doesn't. It's just a regular EX. Would have gave it some more value. It would have given it some more value. Oh, what was the promo I was gonna bring up? The promos for the and let's just go look at the price real quick so you guys can have it fresh in your minds. These, I think, Phantasmal Flames PCTBs are In my mind right now, the biggest pickups, just because it's Charizard, it's a really nice ETB. When it comes to what's in the PC ETBs, these are really cheap for what the PSA 10s are for the promos. So, right, so we have the Alakazam. Let's just look at that real quick, which I did a video on this as well. Um, a few days ago, 41, 520, $600, 620, 474, 550, 520, 455. Alakazam. Riolu, 800, $812, $830, $730, 660. It's been rising. 900, 610, 621, 676, 900. Yeah. These two freaking PC ETBs to me are undervalued like, in comparison to other things. Like I said before, I don't think anything's undervalued. This ETB just came out and it's already 3 times its freaking value, right? It was $60, it's 185. That's just me being honest. Like this is I like it's I see it like with like real world eyes. You know what I'm saying? I feel like people sometimes they lose touch with like reality. Um, but yeah, in comparison to all the other ETBs, I think both of these are really undervalued. The fact that this one is not at $200 with that Riolu selling for 800, $900 is wild to me. Wild. That's one of the ones that I did do a video on. I mean, like I said before, different things. So yeah, I was looking to pick up different things. I really want some prismatic SPCs, but they're like not easy to find at a good price, like whatsoever. Nothing happening at Walmart still. Nothing happening at Walmart. Just looking at notifications real quick just to see. I usually get messages. Meta reports of users able to add to cart if you already had it in it saved for later list. What? This is what I'm saying. People usually have a way to work around um, the Walmart stuff. So if you had it on a list, like a saved for later list, which I do, and it doesn't say move to cart. So that doesn't sound accurate at all. All right. Well, unless it's already sold out, which is possible as well. We already know how that stuff goes on Walmart. We might get no Ascended Heroes or Destined Rivals. Sad to say. Um, it is what it is. Back to the stream. All right. Not a fan of grading the special delivery charge will be for a personal binder. Well, that's different. If it's for your binder, then I think I mean now that's up to you. If you're gonna justify buying it at 130, market's 180. I mean, I think that's a deal, right? If it's that expensive, you're getting it $50 off. That's a lot. That's a big difference. That's like what is it like 30, almost 30% off? Isn't that a UK exclusive? I personally would not know. I have not looked into the background of the special delivery. Oh, the Rayquaza box. Oh, I wouldn't know. Reverend Rips, what's going on? Now that I just, I completely, oh, I just realized the time. Real quick, my girl is texting me wondering because we actually haven't even had dinner and it's gonna be 10 p.m. and she's waiting on me. So I'm not ending the stream just yet, but it will end soon. Now I do want to try this real quick. If you're willing to, Rev, one more time to see if this um can work. I let's see. I'm gonna put this link into the chat, Reverend. See if you can click the link or not, and see if you can hop on the stream. I really want to test this out like really badly. We'll see what happens. So you're not a fan of grading. You're keeping that to yourself. We saw that already. Of course, welcome to the stream. 1 hour in and still waiting in line. Come on, Walmart. Yep. And Net is still here. I thought Net was gone. Thanks for being here still. Don't forget to hit the like button, guys. I would really appreciate it. Hit the like. Hit the like. Just checking my phone for Walmart as well. So it looks like on my phone, the Destin Rivals booster bundles are gone. I don't know why, but it is. They're gone. So maybe the booster bundles are bought out already. Oh, it worked. It worked. Here we are. It worked. So this is what I was hoping for. I don't even know how this is gonna work. Let's see how good this works out. Let's see how good this works out.
What's going on?
What's going on? Let's go. It worked. So guys, this is what I want to do. This stream was going to be a live call-in, and as I spoke to you guys, I completely forgot about dropping the link in the chat and allowing some of you guys to come on here and talk. You don't have to have the camera on like Rev does, but Rev is clearly comfortable enough to do that. You guys don't need it. You can just have your mic on and talk, and we can have conversations about whatever you guys want.
Let me get some of the light behind me out.
Minutes to chat here. Rep is one of the guys that I wanted to actually come onto the stream because he has a lot of interesting things going on. It's funny that it was just said that this guy didn't like grading when Rev loves grading, and he's been successful with it. So I think it's something to dabble in, especially when you have some Rev. So go ahead, Rev. You can let them know what you've been doing. I'm gonna get back to these comments. Let me see real quick. How much of the crowns in the promo to 10? What crowns in the promo?
Yeah, guys, been talking with
expensive.
Jake for a little while about my strategy as it relates to let me just say this about grading. I know a lot of people have a PSA only mindset. I pretty much grade with 3 of the companies. I grade with PSA, I grade with BGS, I grade with CGC, all for different reasons. As it relates to PSA, that's a pretty simple thing. I mean, right now it has the best return on investment, and especially when you're thinking about low pop count. I'll tell you one of the plays that Jay and I talked about that should be really good if I get the grades. But I generally use BGS for black label hunting. I mean, naturally, you have to be very, very good. I've never gotten a black label personally, but my son has. He pulled a Moonbryon on his birthday, and we sent it off, and it got a black label. He still has it. The way I use CGC is that I actually like the pristine labels better than I like PSA labels. I think the pristines are very, very slept on, but from the perspective of they typically sell for probably 15 to 20% more than a PSA 10. Yes, the Gem Mint 10 definitely sells for less, but I want y'all to think through this whole process of grading. Right now, of course, we know PSA has increased their prices, but we also know there's a 4 to 6 month wait. So this is how I use CGC. So I have an order right now that it arrived on 122, and it should be back in my hands probably next week. It's already in the grading stage, the encapsulation stage. So if you send cards to PSA right now, let's say you send 20 cards, 6 months later down the line that you're going to get those back, hoping that the price of a PSA 10 has not tanked. And when you're thinking about how fast this industry and this market moves, by the time you get that card back, for instance, I graded a Marnie's Morpeko, got a PSA 10 in it. When I graded it, I got $300 for it. I think the price now is like $150. So just think about that for a moment. If you graded with CGC, and the Morning Marpeco and a PSA 10 was $300, and you only got $200 for it. Well, if you send it to PSA now, you're 6 months later, you're only getting $150 for it. So you have to have a mindset of, okay, can I put this money in my pocket? I saw one person say, a lot of us have a lot of dead money, meaning you have cards that may be very valuable in a PSA 10, but they're still stuck in a vault. And until you actually get those cards back in your hand, you really don't have anything. I don't care how much you talk about, oh, if this comes back in a PSA 10, I mean, what if it doesn't? I mean, you spent 6 months hoping that it gets a 10 and not capitalizing. So I'm able to turn over the CGC slabs and get into some other things. Jay, go ahead and talk. I'm going to go get my slab binder and show them some of the stuff that I have in it.
All right. Yeah, so I've been wanting to get I put his link for his Instagram. He doesn't promote it. He's not like trying to be a content creator. He just puts out his stuff. But I think it's really interesting to see the things that he does. The bundles are gone, guys, for sure. I just got the note. But yeah, so he does a lot of grading, has been very profitable. He has sent me his numbers, right? Like really good profits, you know, and I think that there's a certain value you have to add to grading because you're trying to be profitable. This alone, right? If you do it correctly and you strategize, I'm very big on strategizing, taking advantage of opportunities. If you do it properly, this can fund your hobby by itself.
Absolutely.
This one thing alone can fund your hobby, guys. You don't have to worry about the money that you need to put food on the table. This can fund it for you, and then you could be profitable off of it. You just have to do it right.
Let me show you this. Okay, so I have this in a PSA 10. It
sells guard count from Destin Rivals.
It sells for about $475, I think. But I just got a pristine 10. Damn, it sells for about $750. So when you start thinking about that, I took the chance and sent this. I pulled both of them out packs. So I pulled this like the first week. I pulled this about a month ago, sent it off, and got the pristine. And so when you start thinking about that, yes, a PSA 10, everybody wants the PSA 10, but I'll make more money on this card than I will on that card. And so a lot of people knock, and you know, don't. I'm not gonna say I don't have PSA 10s. I mean, I do have PSA. I have a Garatina. Everything you see, I pulled. I mean, so I mean, I have a lot of things that most people. I mean, I have the Charizard that I pulled. I'll show you one other. I have this card. I also have one at PSA. Hopefully get a 10. I'll have a pristine of it. And so you just have to learn how to use the different companies and not be so fixated on, well, I need PSA. Okay, I understand that. But if you can't get the cards back fast enough, you're going to lose money.
Yeah, that's a big thing. And for you to get the card back fast enough, you got to pay more money, which means that you're actually technically losing money because you're losing part of the profits.
Yeah, you're taking a risk. I mean, let's say
and it's a risk, and you got to pay more money and take a risk.
You pay $75. I have a premium account with CGC, so it costs me $15.20 a card. No upcharges. It takes typically 2 weeks for me to get stuff back. And I've just learned, and as I told Jay, I have a grade to consignment system. So I use PC Sports Cards, you know, not a promotion of them, but you use whoever you want for consignment. But I actually send them my cards. I'm only using PSA with them. And then when the grades come in, I can go to the system and click the link and automatically send them to consignment. No money out of pocket. I do not have to pay them anything until actually everything is finished. So typically what happens is I have 40, so tomorrow, so I have a negative $447 balance right now with them. But I have 46 cards that are going to consignment. And so by the time all of those cards are finished, I'll probably clear about $1,800, even after paying the $447. anything you can do that you don't have to go in your pocket is very important. If you can do it like I do it, and so what I do is that I use that money to fund my hobby, and then I have cards that I want for my collection. I could just pick those up. You know, Jay also know I have a pretty significant seal collection as well. Um,
You know what's
my
funny?
last
I didn't see how much you had. We didn't have that much. We spoke for like an hour, but every time we brought something up, you would walk over and show me it, right? But you didn't show me like everything. I'm not asking you to get up and
right,
show everything.
right.
But that was one thing that I didn't get a chance to and you don't have to get up right now either. I'm hoping to get you to hop back on the stream again next week because I want to keep
Oh
on
yeah,
doing this thing on
yeah,
Wednesdays. And
absolutely.
I want to try to be consistent, but there's so much that I think that so much value that is in the stuff that you're doing that I'm not doing so much of. I think people can learn and understand like the value of this because um I don't think people should be looking past these opportunities. I think that a lot of times people are afraid, like for example, right here, this comment. Uh Jamie said, Rev, my fear is getting my card lost or damaged. How has that happened to you even once?
I, I've not had a single card lost or damaged. I mean, I haven't. I mean, I know some people have. I think the thing is, if you're afraid of getting a card lost or grading, you're going to be afraid of doing anything. I mean, from the standpoint, if you send a payment to somebody that you owe money to, it could get lost. I mean, and so you really have to have. I have a pretty good mindset. I have a background in economics. I was in sales, and Jay knows I'm retired. I retired at
Yeah,
55.
he's got time on his hands. He's got an advantage.
And so one of the things you have to your risk tolerance. It's just like investing in the market. What is your risk tolerance? You're going to have a mindset of, okay, if what's the worst that could happen? Yes, you could lose your card. But what I did, I started off with smaller cards. So my first submission was probably 10 cards. And I had a mindset, okay, I'm gonna consign these and I'm gonna get good grades. I had to learn how to look at cards. That's key. That's critically important. But here is what gets most people. Most people think like a collector and not like an investor. Because you pull a card and all of a sudden, I just hold on. I'll post it on my IG. I just got back, so I think I told Jay. I already showed him the card. I pulled a One Piece manga rare.
Right.
I pulled it.
Ace.
Well, it just came back. The Ace just came back in a BGS 9.5. It had 9.5 centering, 9.5 corners, 10-10. That card in that grade is $1,800. If you know, I'm going to sell it because I'm not into One Piece. I'm not into One Piece, so I know I'm going to sell it.
That's sick.
But what I'm going to do is I'm going to send that card off as a crossover with CGC. So I'm going to do that tomorrow. If the worst it can do is get the same grade. So I'll put on the crossover, don't crack unless it's the same grade or higher.
Oh, they'll do
So,
that.
and they do it. Yeah, you can click a button. It said they will
Oh,
not
okay.
crack your card until if it's a gem mint.
That's nice. They have that.
Yeah, yeah. And so the thing is, if it just gem mints, it's a 2.2K card. So remember, in the BGS is 1.8K, and the CGC is 2.2K. So I'm already winning just by it staying the same. But if it goes to a pristine, it will become a 3.2K card. I have a different mindset
That's
about how
insane.
I do things,
And
and you
one of
really
the
have
comments right
to.
here, real quick. One of the comments, it correlates perfectly with what you just said. Somebody wrote, "I can dig it. He has a map to the money on per card basis." Poke Painter says, "What's up?"
So one of the things that I talked to Jay about, there's a card that most people just overlook. I'm not going to say they throw it away. And Jay and I have talked about this. The Destined Rival Check Lane Blister has an EV promo, Black
EV
Star
promo.
promo. And those cards are probably $10, but in the PSA 10, they're $250. So I have 10 right now in assembly. I don't know the grades, but I pulled those cards from a pack, and I was buying check lane blisters, and all 10 of them have 1 or 2 swirls in it. And I know Jay could put up what the prices are selling for and everything, but you just have to have a mindset of what's best. And this is the best part about it. The pop count on that card is 80. So I think it may have gone up, and I think my cards may actually have come into the system. I've been taking screenshots of the PSA app, and last week there were 80. I think I took one today. There were 92, so that's 12 more that have been added. I'm assuming 50% of the ones I sent are actually PSA 10s. Well, my investment is probably $300. If I get 5 PSA 10s and move them, I mean, I'm making money, and that's the mindset that you have to have. Yes, I collect. Yes, I rip, but I have significant numbers. I love Prismatic. I think I heard Jay talking about Prismatic earlier. I have 25 surprise boxes and 18 ETBs that's just sealed. The reason it's easy for me, I pulled the Sumbreon. So once you pull a card like that, you don't really worry. But I also pulled the Espeon. And so when you start thinking about that, one of the hardest, I just got this back. I don't know if I told you about this, Jay. I just got that back.
Nah, you didn't tell me about that one.
Pristine
Actually,
Charizard.
you did. You sent me a picture with a whole bunch of different graded cards.
Yeah. And I mean, you just have to learn. Stop listening. And this is what I tell people. If you like PSA, that's fine. If you like CGC, that's fine. If you like tag, that's fine. But you have to learn how to use every last one of the companies to your advantage. Yep. And most people don't use the CGC and even tag. I haven't used tag. I'm not against it, but I have a system with CGC, and I just think the CGC slabs looks just as good as tag, but CGC has that pristine label, which I like. And so that's pretty, that is.
Yep. One is listed at 500. One is starting on bids at 200, 450, 285. I saw somebody call it the Eevee look back at it.
I think they said back shop Eevee.
Yeah, something crazy like that. But you guys can see what he's talking about here. Like, look at this, $800. Like, now sold. I mean, these are what's listed, right? We don't know but these guys are getting numbers from somewhere. So let's see what the sold listings look like.
I don't know what the sold listings look like.
Yeah, but these are also new promos. People got these back $390 for one there, but these are just coming back from PSA, guys. Think about how long it's been. $275, right? People are selling them as soon as they get them. Now that there are more getting listed, you're not even seeing them at these prices anymore. Look, they're not even here anymore. That's it. They're gone. I'm sorry, one at $350. You're not seeing too many. So
remember, the pop count is less than 100. So they're going to be people who collect Eevee, and they're never going to come back out. They're just going to have them in their collections. The thing that I looked for were swirls. I have one that I'm hoping has a PSA 10. I may keep this one that actually has a swirl coming out of the mouth and out the butt. So I mean, it's little things like that will make a difference for your bottom line. Most people don't even think about grading the poster collection promos from 151. Well, I've graded 3 sequentially numbered sets, and individually the cards maybe are $50 or $60. I've sold each set for $350. I mean, because it's sequentially numbered. I mean, and everyone I send, I don't just send, of course it has to be in good condition, but I specifically focus on promos that have swirls.
People like them.
people like swirls, and so you have to. I've been doing it enough to know what to look for. I mine the PSA pop counts to see. Don't just send anything. Popular Pokemon promos that are hard to gem. I think the Eevee I saw yesterday has a 15.6% gem rate. So they're not easy to gem. So when they do gem, you can make good money on them.
Right. That's the first thing I think that people need to realize is that they need to get their feet wet. Like the fear of doing something that trust me, I get it. The fear of doing something like that and maybe losing it. And on top of that, a lot of those stories that we see on Reddit, I think are blown way out of proportion. Like I just think that just think about how many times you've heard that somebody's card got lost or stolen or damaged in comparison to how many times it didn't. Think about how many people are putting in cards at all times. This number is like less than 1% by far. Probably less than like 0.2%. Like it's a really low number. Just keep that in mind. At some point, if you want to do something like this, and I think that once you start being successful, it starts becoming like I would say like addicting. Like you're like, yeah, I want to keep now. I'm going to keep doing this. I'm going to keep grading. It's going to keep funding my hobby. Now I can grade. Maybe I could rip a little bit. I could grade still. I could grade what I ripped. You know, like and just keep churning. It's such a great way to like have like your own little business. It's pretty crazy to think about that can happen that easily, but it can be very profitable. Because somebody here wrote, I worked for UPS. So knowing how they treat their packages when loading them into the truck and or containers, so that's an issue I have. But there's a certain way that these companies want you to send the cards so that if the box does get banged up, the cards are still protected. That's why you have like bubble wrapping in there or certain things that you can do to protect your cards. You know, of course, you want to try to reduce the risk of something getting damaged, but at the same time, that's still part of your fear of something happening. And I think that's really unlikely. I think you really just have to get your feet wet, try it a few times, and then you'll get comfortable and be like, you know what? Okay, actually, this can actually work. You know,
let me show you something right quick.
So yeah, guys, I wanted to have Rev on before. I think that a lot of people can learn.
All right, here's how I ship cards. So of course the box is easy. But when you look at how much bubble wrap and how much paper I have in there,
you could throw that thing across the room and nothing's happening. I'm telling you, I think because on top of that, I think people need to think about how light the cards are. If you bang it, there's not enough weight for it to actually penetrate through the bubble wrap, through the box for it to damage itself. All it's going to do is actually nothing in there. It's so well protected in there. I think that's just part of the fear. I hope that people can learn a bit more. I think because I'm going to have to end the stream. People are waiting for me to have dinner, and I want to have you early on. I want to start the stream with you on there if you're willing to, or even if you get there in the middle, whatever is convenient for you. And I want to have conversations with you as well with other people that want to talk about anything. Like I just want it to be a cool space to hang out, and I think people can learn a lot from what you're doing because we spoke for 1 hour, and in that 1 hour there was so much substance in that 1 hour we spoke on alone. And like I told you that day, that could have been a live stream on its own. Like there was so much we spoke about that I can't even remember everything we spoke about. I can't.
Well, anybody want to talk? I mean, I'm on IG, the Reverend Ribs.
I dropped your link in the chat if people want to add you and talk to you. Like I said, I don't think you're trying to be a crazy content creator, but he definitely posts his stuff there. If you got questions, he responds. We talk basically every single day. Yeah, I dropped the link in the chat just for that reason alone. So people, if they're interested, but let's see. Let's take on the last few comments. Jamie's saying, I will dip my feet in. I will test it out on one card that isn't too high a value. Test the waters. Yeah, that's all it takes. That's all it takes, bro. I mean, of course, don't just waste your money. Make sure you're actually trying to get a 10. Look at the card centering. Look at the condition of the card. Look at the back centering. Look at everything. And then there are a lot of cards that even I've pointed out in videos before that can cost you $5 that can give you a $300 return. So just look cards up and look at things like that. I think it would really, really be impressive. I think you'd be impressed. I think you'd be really happy with what can happen. If it can 9, it can 10 eventually. He's saying to you, Rev. He's questioning.
See, let me just say this before you drop. I am not a please submit again, guy. I mean, I pretty much when I've used PSA now, I've pretty much not. I'm not using PSA right now because of the backlog. You lose money the longer your card is not in your possession. That's what you have to. I don't care how much that card is worth today. Look at what happened to. Of course, if you're sending a $500 or $600 card, you're going to send it faster. But what Jay and I are talking about, what I've been doing, I'm not going to send an Eevee on a $74 per card.
Yeah.
I'm just not going to do that. So cards like that, you have to send bulk. And so it's going to take you that long. Who's to say when you get it back, you're still going to be making that profit? Because always remember the card price plus the grading plus the shipping. So now bulk is $24.99. Let's say you have a $3 card, you're already up at $28. Shipping, let's just add another $2. So now you're already at $30 for that card. Already at $30. You have to then look and see if this card gets a 9, how much is it selling for?
Yep.
That, I mean, I only base everything I do on if that card gets a PSA 9, because most of the time, especially in TCG, a PSA 9 can get you a little bit of profit, but at least it'll break you even.
Right.
That was before the price increase. Look at 10s as your money. I mean, you're trying to pay for your submission with 9s. You're trying to make money with the 10s.
Right. That's a great way to look at it too. It's like it's all of that. You have to all like people. One thing that I made that video about risk versus reward, and one of the things that I mentioned there is that some people don't even acknowledge their risk. They actually can't explain the risk. They can't explain their risk, and for that reason right there alone, they're already losing. They don't even know what can actually happen. They think that, things are just going to go up. Like it doesn't work that way. This whole thing can come crashing down. I'm sorry to say it to anyone. You may not want to hear it. Most people, that's one thing too. People don't want to hear negative things, but it's realistic. This whole thing can come crashing down. It can. Just like Bitcoin dropped down to 60 something thousand after it was at 120,000. It can happen. It can happen. But at the same time, you risk tolerance, you have to acknowledge the risk, be smart, be strategic. Pokepanner says, I would love a stream talking about what you look at when pre-grading. I've never graded a card, but I would like to dabble some in the future. And that's, like I said, I think you guys can learn a ton from Rev. Not only that, just a different mindset. Like I can look at something a certain way, and then Rev, like for example, we were talking about the prismatic surprise box, and he was telling me why he thought there was value in that product and what that can do long term for the collector or the person that would like to purchase this item to actually open it. And he had his perspective on it, and you guys can see how people think differently and why things can actually work, and why I tell you guys not to fall under the things that just happen in this big YouTube echo chamber, because it's not the only one way that things go. People say things and they just follow. Like Alex says something. I know Alex is smart. He's done well.
Yes.
But just because he says it, it doesn't mean that's the only way or it's exactly the right way. There's a lot of things that change in this Pokemon hobby.
Let me say this, since they brought it up. I know he's getting ready to close. The surprise boxes. If you can get them, I mean, at $40, I've gotten mine for lower than that. I've pretty much got most of my stuff at MSRP. But right now, the prismatic packs are about $11. And so you think about it, at the very worst, you can break the box down and sell the packs, because I think I heard Jay say this.
And the promo.
Yes, and the promo. When they turn off the spigot for printing prismatic, and it is happening soon. They cannot keep pumping out prismatic. They put out so much prismatic, and the ETB is still $140. Imagine when they stop printing.
Did you see earlier in the stream? I pointed out there's a guy who I'm also cool with that's in my Discord. His name is Jay Estrema, usually on the chats here. He sent me a picture today. Somebody bought 12 ETBs at $155 on TCG Player. 12. one shot, and then I saw some others there. It's going to keep rising. The very, very next few listings are already at 150. It's going to start going even higher. So I pointed it out because I saw it. You know, I saw what's happening. I'm going to be making some moves in the next couple of days, but I wanted to point it out so people could see it because I'm trying to be transparent. If I see something that we could all like right now that's going to change, that I think is going to change now, I'm going to point it out. Maybe you guys can
But I
take
want you to
advantage or
also
not.
think about this, guys. Think about this. Let's say you have an ETB and you have a surprise box, and someone has a kid who wants to rip Prismatic. Are they going to rip a $200 box, or are they going to rip an $80 box?
Yeah.
And get a
100%.
promo, guaranteed promo, and it could be the Umbreon, which by itself could at that time be a lot more valuable.
Yep.
You have to think about where people can enter the prismatic. I mean, you really have to have. I have ETBs. I have surprise boxes. I have the 10 displays. I think I want to be able to say, if I go to the show, if I ever vend, I do not vend, and I'm set up, and somebody comes to the table, I believe in sleeves. Well, if somebody just wants to buy, they could buy a sleeve for $12. I paid $5 for it. I make a profit, but then they have the assurance that that's not a Wade or a scan pack. I'm just saying.
Right. Yeah, like I said, there's so many different things that we spoke about that I think you guys would find interesting and that you guys could learn from. So hopefully next week I can get Rev back on if he's not too busy. I would really appreciate it. I mean, thank you for hopping on now. I completely forgot about dropping the link into the chat. I mean, if anybody was not nervous, because I know some people are a little afraid sometimes, they don't want to come on and talk. But hopefully next week, if you're available and you want to hop on and you're willing to, I'd more gladly than not, of course, have you here. I'd love to have you. But yeah,
Sounds
it
good.
would be a fun stream.
Wednesdays are my. I'm actually, guys. I'm Rev, but I'm actually a pastor.
He's actually. I asked this question because his name is Reverend Rips. I was like, "Are you actually a?" He's like, "Yes, I actually am." But yeah.
And so, hey guys, I appreciate you. My wife. We got to get something to eat too.
Yeah. Well, thanks for being here, brother. Thank you, man. Have a good night. I'm gonna contact you on Instagram.
Sounds good.
All right. Take care, man. All right, guys. With that being said, I'll see you guys on the next one. Thank you guys for being here. For those of you that stuck around, I know some of you stuck around from like beginning to end. I really appreciate it. Thank you guys. Without you guys, there's nothing, man. Yeah, Rev is a beast, man. Rev is a beast. He's retired. He's got time, and he's making moves. Underrated, like for real. You guys don't understand. Like he's showing me his numbers, and I'm telling you, this thing can completely fund your hobby and more. You just have to be willing to put in the work, of course. But yeah, thank you guys once again. I will be here next week unless something happens where you guys let me know that you guys want it on Saturday, but nobody has mentioned it once, and I've brought that thing up like 4 times. I think we're going to be locked in for Wednesdays if everybody's cool with this Wednesday thing. But thank you guys. Thank you, Jamie. Are you in the Discord? You said something about the Discord. I don't know your Discord name because it's this Jamie name is not in the Discord. But yeah, I appreciate it, man. It was a fun stream. I have so much fun that I actually lost track of time, like completely. Well, but with that, guys, I'll see you guys on the next one. As always, be safe out there and enjoy the hobby, man. Hopefully, you guys can get some luck with these. Oh, Santos. Oh, nice. Cool. Yeah, hopefully you guys can get some Ascended Heroes from Walmart. I have seen nothing happening. I don't know what's going on, but yeah, man. Adro, take care, brother. Thanks for being here, man. Even though I didn't, some guys are quiet, but it's all good, man. Thanks for being here. Take care, guys. Peace.